Welcome to Starchcast Live. It's me, Potato, with your amazing host, Kamoku. Come say hi.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. I
Basically,
had to. I
I get
had
it,
to.
man. It's the perfect fucking thing. That meme is just great.
Yeah, man. So basically, hi everybody. Somehow your boy is a mad lad in disguise because I'm doing this with while the stitches are still recovering.
I know, man. Can't believe you're flapping your jaw with active thread through it, man. Good lord.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, oh, something's got to give. I'm probably just gonna be tossing and turning in my sleep tonight.
It happens, man. I understand.
Yeah, no, like these meds just throw you off kilter though, because I'm like, I'm gonna have a good night's sleep. Why am I not sleeping?
I get that anyway, so it's like, yeah. I don't even need medicine for that. If it's not the sleep paralysis, as I've mentioned, or the night terrors, it's, man, what the fuck is sleep?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate bit.
You're in good company at
Um,
least, huh?
yeah, man, and we've got a lot to talk about now.
Boy, howdy. You found me actually, starting with a subject unrelated to this, but something I've been kind of doing?
Mm.
Alright, for the last month and a half, give or take, I have been running an experiment on myself. I
Oh, word.
I have been testing out different Dollar Tree soaps, shampoos and conditioners
Right.
and stuff such as your body washes. And
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting some of the results. Like right now my current batch of stuff I'm using is a activated charcoal 2-in-1 and a
Nice.
lavender scented body wash.
And
And
what's the verdict?
mostly pretty shit, except for the VO5 brand, which the way the squeeze bottles are, there's too much give, so you could just end up in one go. Because a lot of these bottles they have that aren't VO5, you have to really work to squeeze out. Those
Mm-hmm.
ones are kind of shit for the most part, as you can tell by the fact my forehead is shiny right now. Like it literally has a
It's trigger
reflection.
happy.
And a lot of that is because the way the soap is, it's basically does nothing really for in the way of cleaning, except for
Gotcha.
some of the bar soap, and even unless you're getting Yardley or some of the name brand shit like Irish Spring, it's
Yeah,
not doing much. Like
that's interesting.
it is, and then the activated charcoal stuff that I'm using currently is pretty crap. Like VO5 though, other than the very easy to squeeze bottle, I find that's the best stuff for doing your hair with. Because this activated
Yeah,
charcoal stuff, I'm gonna have to probably put away because
I'm gonna have to pass.
yeah, for being a buck, this is one of those cases of yeah, you're paying a very little amount, but the quality unfortunately is way too low to justify. My hair feels crunchy for lack of better words, and I ran four times through with the soap, rinsed out extremely well, and I even resorted to
Yeah.
using bar soap afterwards just to try to get some form of definition back. And now this my hair is fucked. And the regular soap, it did nothing because I was using just some of that lavender body wash, and my forehead feels greasy. It's very clearly shiny, and
Right.
honestly, it did nothing really worth for cleaning. Sniff my armpit right now, and whew, man, this shit does nothing to clean, and it's a shame.
It just goes with the phrase of you get what you paid for.
Yeah, if you are gonna buy stuff from Dollar Tree, either buy VO5, buy the name brands you know, buy Yardley, or get the
Yeah.
Paris transparent soap. Otherwise, you're not gonna have a good time. And even with that,
Yeah.
the Paris transparent soap, while it's good for cleaning, unfortunately, because of the way it's made, it's about 5 or 6 runs through the shower and that shit's gone.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, and I shower daily, so that shit, I'm going through a bar not even in a week.
See, that's why I don't use bar soap. I'm having to stick to what is it? Like Dove men's.
good stuff.
or Duke Cannon.
I can't you justify the price of that like to get it,
I
or else I
can't
would.
either. I can't either. But if you know what you're doing, you can stretch that. You can stretch that for way longer than it has any right to be used for.
That's fair.
And like me, I have to what? I have to shower in the morning, shower after the gym, shower at night, and that's just because I do not trust myself to smell okay after a few hours. I'm just like, oh, okay, I something doesn't feel right. Let me go ahead and shower real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because I live such an active lifestyle that sure, I'm at some point I'm gonna start smelling weird. So I can understand that. Yeah,
I live a semi-sedentary life, but I got fucked in the genetic lottery. Basically, like it doesn't matter. My armpits are gonna fucking reek. So like I have to
right.
be extremely anal retentive about my care routine. Like I have to use at least 3 or 4
Yeah.
different kinds of soap on my armpits just to smell decent. And even then I have to use at least like one little bit of deodorant or else like I'm kind of screwed.
Damn.
Yeah, no, like I said, I got fucked in the genetic lottery when it came to that. I mean, my hairline too, but that's whatever at this point. But like,
Yeah, I hear that's a look now, so it's fine.
I mean, maybe it is a look, but I think I'd have rather a like proper hairline. Though I suppose the wig market will be happy once this is all gone.
I mean, on the bright side, you can now pick all the styles.
Hmm.
Do I feel like dressing up like Joker today or the Riddler? Maybe Devil May Cry. Possibly Vash the Stampede.
Man, speaking
Everyone's
of
like, what the fuck's he talking about?
speaking of fucking Vash the Stampede, I still can't believe just how terrible that the new Trigun anime is.
they they did my boy dirty.
Huh, you ain't kidding, bro. You ain't
He's
kidding.
supposed to he's supposed to be this like faux plant human hybrid thing that isn't even actually human, it just looks human. And his sidearm of choice is a revolver that fires full on 50 cal rounds with a robotic prosthesis that doubles as a shot as like basically a double barreled shotgun. So his right hand is chambered for 12 gauge. Hate to be the one that has to you know be on the business end of that, catching a 12 gauge to the face.
Yeah, exactly. Like on one
And
hand,
then
you've got 50 cal, and then on the other side,
yeah,
boomstick.
and then the fucking the reboot is like you chambered his shit for 22. Bro, I use 22. Like that is not as powerful as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not for like 90% of the stunts that he actually does in the anime, like in the original anime. Half the shit he did would not have been possible if it weren't for the fact that he's firing a full-on anti-material bullet out of his revolver. Now you're telling me he can do all of that just with a 22? Nah. Your own source material says it can't be done with that because the insurance gal that he ends up becoming buddy with uses a bunch of 22 derringers,
Speaking of
and even she can't
22,
get shit done.
like I was actually looking at, because I'm looking to get myself possibly a like handgun for personal defense, and
Yeah.
that Palmetto State Armory site.
Yeah.
If you
They got a
sort
lot of good stuff.
if you sort that shit and just go handguns like priced low to high,
Mm-hmm.
like the first like 6 or 7 pages, all different 22 LR revolvers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really tempted to get one of those because like I know 22 ain't like, just any kind of like huge ammo, but like I live in a tin box. If I need something bigger than like 22, I'm fucked anyways.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
pretty
like
much.
and especially cuz like I said
There
this
better be There better
Yeah.
be a bear coming through that wall because that's the only way I'm going to justify something bigger. Yeah, don't go punching your wall because it's just going to be like, oh look, I can see the outside.
I mean, you're not too wrong, especially like with the two big ass roof leaks that seem to be getting bigger. And then we're supposed to get
Jeez,
like, I think on one
that's
side they were calling
horrible.
for 6 inches of snow. Yeah, no, I'm fucked.
Whoa, dude, we just started spring. What are you? Why are you still getting snow? You're
Well,
hogging the weather. Oh, kitty.
oh yeah, like they say, if you don't like the weather in Maine, wait a minute or walk a mile.
Uh,
And like we didn't get a winter. This is just Mother Nature coming in and saying, "Hey, you seem to have forgotten something. Allow me to remind you of what you've forgotten."
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did Vash dirty, and then on top of that, they made him look like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like the whole allure to Vash the Stampede was that Homeboy is playing like he doesn't know what he's doing, but it's because he's been around so long, he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like their own origin story literally shows he was with the first landing team and has been around since then. So it's been maybe like a good 500 years or so for them to build up all the little colonies and villages and whatnot and be all the outlaws, and that takes time for shit like that to happen. You don't just get stuff like that off the rip.
It's stuff like that why I flat out refuse to watch Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2.
Oof.
Yep.
Oh no! Wait. What they do? I don't. I shouldn't ask. But what did they do?
They switched the animation team, for one. They, like, turned it so that way the characters, while despite having the same names, not at all the same characters, like, comes out more
Uh,
like a shitty, almost seinen type deal.
uh,
Emphasis on shitty. Like, bro, there's so many. Like, they did, like, that show dirty, man. And, like, it's clear that the animation was done, like, just in a rush job. No care. And it's like, I'll even read out some of the. Like, let me open up the thing so I can read out some of the reviews. Hold on.
yep.
Devil is a part timer, season 2. Oh, fuck off, Google. Just work.
That's gonna
Devil.
break. That's gonna break my heart.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Because, like, I was a fucking huge fan of Devil's a Part Timer. Like, I used
Mm-hmm.
to binge that shit, and I'd rewatch it as a kid. So when I heard there was a season 2, I was going, yeah! And then I saw the reviews, I was like, no!
Yep.
The Devil is a Part Timer season 2 reviews. Sorry to kind of go way off topic.
Oh no, it's fine. Because I'm over here like, well, see, like the way the my appeal to Devil's a Part Timer is the fact that it's a reverse isekai because they come
Exactly.
from their own world.
Like,
Where Homeboy
yeah.
was either A, getting his ass whooped, or B, was playing like he was getting his ass whooped and actually had a trump card up his sleeve. But it didn't matter because he got yeeted into the real world somehow, some way.
Yep.
And you come to find out, yeah, the church cheated.
That's about right.
It's like, what the fuck? How do you? Your super weapon that you thought was supposed to kill him is actually just a world door. How the fuck was that supposed to kill him exactly?
Exactly, bro. Alright, I found the first review. Season 2 of a show that aired in 2013. Oh
Oh
boy.
god, I feel old.
Yeah, I know. Like, speaking of feeling old, like, I was at that indie wrestling show that I shared pictures of,
Mm.
and some fucking kid came up to me and said, "Hey, sir, are these seats occupied?" And again, just like, "Hey, sir, what the fuck? I'm only 23. What the
Don't call
fuck?"
me sir. I work for a living. Damn it.
No, I mean, but like, fuck, like, I'm only 23, man. I don't think I'm quite old enough to be called a sir yet.
Jeez. No, I've seen 23-year-olds who like they've done their first tour of military and they just look haggard.
I mean, shit like
It's just
that,
like the fuck
like,
happened to you?
shit like that, exactly. They've earned the fucking right. If they want to be called sir, exactly, like, hello, sir. But, like, I mean, shit. Like, fucking hell, like, I'm only 23. Like, I've not accomplished that much in my life. Please, for the love of Pete, do not fucking call me sir.
Oh man. Now, see, the interesting thing is, I've had the reverse happen where I had an older gentleman walk up behind me and go, "Excuse me, sir," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, how can I help?" He's like, "You military?" And I'm like, "No, no, no. What gave you that idea?" He's like, "Oh," he's like, "You've got an insignia that looks military on the back of your shirt." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that." I'm the guy that maintains their stuff as a civilian contractor, so technically, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. Going into that whole like just like 99% of my file might just be redacted for all I know, so I don't know what I can and can't say.
That's fair.
Yeah, which is funny because I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna take a I'm gonna take a construction contract, let's go. And there's a lot of black ink involved. I'm just like, oh shit.
I believe it. I have family. They were military, and then they became civilian contractors for meteorology.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and the thing with that is like, unlike the normal civilian meteorology, if you don't get this right, like your ass is grass. From
Pretty
everything I've
much, you only
heard.
get one shot.
Yeah, and like it's stuff like that that makes me wonder why the hell are civilian like civilian meteorologists allowed to get it so wrong.
Because nobody's basing a giant plan off of whatever they're doing.
I mean, fair enough, but like getting it wrong has proven to get people killed. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just usually it's like, okay, cool. You got it wrong and maybe someone's held up of 5 or 15 minutes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get killed unless they drive like a jackass and then they're driving in the middle of a storm like a jackass and they end up hydroplaning and crashing their car and wrapping it around a tree 9 times. But that's beside the point.
speaking of hydroplaning, like we've gotten so much rain this year that the roads are basically completely washed out. A good chunk are back to basically fucking dirt roads, and like even my
Oh
road,
wow.
yeah, no, it's fucked here. Like even like my road's like a pothole every, I'd like to say half a mile, and that, yeah, I actually wouldn't be too inaccurate. It's like I'm 3.2 miles down the road, like going like just directly from the end of the road to where I am, and like there is basically a pothole every half a mile, and like the Rokes Bluff road, like it's basically just a dirt road. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um
sorry.
over here I think the most we got is I think what was it? One road actually had to get completely repaved even though they're ahead of schedule with doing that. Oh shoot, let me be right back. I think I forgot something important that I'm supposed to have on my person.
No problem. Speak, he mentions roads possibly being repaved, but like here, fat chance of that happening, and if it does get done, fat chance of that happening competently, especially with the current road crew. Like shit is so bad. Like there is an intersection between here and Machias. I believe it's in the Columbia Falls area. I'm not honestly too good with my geography for that kind of stuff, but like it is like part of the road is basically completely cut off. There's reds. That's whatever, but like when they were even putting the roads down, redoing them, and there's apparently going to be more redone this year, if I'm understanding correctly. Like a good chunk of that is still fucked. It's likely going to have to be redone because we've gotten so much rain. That shit's just been washing out. Like yesterday, going to Machias, you could see like the water level here is so high it's almost basically up to the road. And, like with that, 6 inches of snow incoming. Worse if you're further up north. Like what the hell's gonna happen? Like that's man. And like shit, like I said, I mentioned how like many potholes are in this road, but I don't think there's really words to quite explain just how bad shit is right now. And that's just here, and like again Roke's Bluff, which is like half-ish of an hour away. Or is that no, maybe closer to 25. No, no, it's kind of a side road. Either way, though, like that road is basically a dirt road. Like if they do redo the roads and when like they got to, like that's gonna be a hell of a mess. Hell, and we got our fencing delivered, which I have right over there in the corner. Like the truck that came to deliver it had a whole bunch of friggin' replacement culverts. Like it, and you guys know what I mean by the culverts, right? Like the plastic tubing looking things that are kind of ridged looking. Like that thing was stacked with those. I'm talking no joke, probably 8 or 9 of them. So if that's how bad, like that's what they're doing today, what the hell is going to be happening between then you know like between today and especially like where we are supposed to get so much snow, like who knows how much shit's going to have to be redone with where they are apparently redoing at least 9 culverts.
Found it.
Nice. What was it you
Ah,
lost, or are you allowed to talk about that?
it's the baby monitor.
Oh yeah, Ma's got one of those to keep an eye on Grandpa where he's 88.
Oof. Well, I mean, they come in handy for pretty much. It's just like if we need to keep an eye on someone who can't be left by themselves, and sure, in my
Yeah.
case, it's a little one who can't quite climb out of his own crib yet because, well, he hasn't figured it out yet, which is good. Because otherwise, it'd be a whole other set of problems.
Yeah.
He's the family escape artist. I have to I have to constantly keep my eye on him because I'll turn around and look at something else, turn back around and be like, where the hell did he go?
Back when I was living in the house upstairs, like you know how they make those like eye hooks that have the latch to lock into place?
Right.
We had to get one of those because my black cat figured out how to crack, how to open the regular eye hook and just pull the door open to let the other cats down.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that cat is very smart.
We had a cat we nicked we my mother-in-law named it Loki,
Okay.
but this little furball figured out how to operate the door handles for her house because all the door handles were they weren't your normal doorknobs. It was a door lever. So
Okay.
instead of having to get your hand around the doorknob, you just held onto like a lever and pulled down. So it was like a disabled person's doorknob.
Oh yeah, one of those. Yeah, like they have for some
Yeah, the
public
cat just figured
bathrooms.
out. Yeah, the cat just figured out if I just stretch myself straight and get my paws over the top of this thing and pull, the door opens.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, kept getting into everything he wasn't supposed to be getting into. At some point, I just went, look, um, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on your cat if that's the case, because they keep getting into the pantry and we're running out of food.
Thankfully, the I never had an issue with that. However, that black cat I talked about found out that it really likes those pizzas you can pick up at the grocery market that they have in the displays, like at
Well,
what you'd call Food Lion, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah,
like main.
the frozen food pizzas, yeah.
No, we're talking like the ones they usually have in the deli section.
Oh shoot, okay.
Yeah, like Riff Raff figured out she liked those, so she got right on top of the fucking box and ate out the middle. Which that was a pain in the ass, because like this was back when we were going to the food pantry, which would have been around the time Infinity War just hit Netflix. So
Dang.
yeah. So here we were getting shit packed up. I turn around and this little shit, well, 20 pounds, so little is relative.
Yeah.
Um, but was just like had ate out the middle and was working on getting further, for it. So we had to get the cat off of that, and we had to, whether we liked it or not, get that pizza cooking, and well, we had to replace the middle with something else. That was a pain in the ass.
Right, right.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, don't you,
That
kitty
sounds like
cat?
it'd be a nightmare having to reset that every single time. Just be like, please, for the love of all that's all that's good in the world, stop.
Yeah, that friggin' cat.
Oh man,
Oh yeah,
that's just great. Yeah, I had a similar issue with Loki, and then yeah, it was sad when they finally passed away. They had an unceremonious ending.
poor cat.
They just yeah, they just got way too sick to keep to keep being okay. It turns out, yeah, your cat's incontinent. I'm like, oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, screw it. I'm not gonna. I'm not. This cat had this cat put me through way too much shit, but that doesn't mean I hate him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting him wallow in misery like this because even he's not happy that he's shitting everywhere. Let's just go ahead and put him out of his misery.
Yeah, poor cat. I just realized Riff Raff is like 8 years old.
Hmm.
Like, he's still, or I say he, like, I've always fucking, like, done that, poor cat. Um, like, this cat's still pretty spry and pretty smart. I think,
Word.
actually, Riff Raff might be the oldest cat. It's either him or Sassy. Uh, in an ideal world, Riff Raff's older brother would still be around, but we're all still pretty sure a mountain lion got it.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah, same thing that got a couple of
that's
my
rough.
turkeys a few years back. Like what I say was like I say mountain lion, but fucking what's bobcat? That's what I fucking mean. Sorry, bobcat.
Bobcat.
Like I do that unintentionally, but like I think the worst part is like there's dumbasses who will sit here and tell you there's no bobcats in Maine, but it's like yes there fucking are. Like just because you didn't see them when you went out to hunt them does not mean your experience is fucking universal. Like holy shit, like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
just like how what was it? Um Oh, every single time someone mentions a black snake, they think it's a black mamba. Be careful, it's a black mamba outside, and I'll just be looking at it, it's like that ain't no fucking black mamba. I just looked at its innards. Its mouth is like pink as salmon. If it was a black mamba, all of that shit would be black too.
Speaking of black, I'm not sure if you're aware of this fact, but for those of you guys who don't know, the more black is like your dog's mouth is, the more intelligent your dog is going to be.
Oh, word. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's something I learned a few years
Is that
back.
the amount of? Is it like the amount of something present in their gums or their bloodstream or something? Or
I'm not sure, but like it apparently like the more black the mouth is, the more intelligent the dog is. Like I've had dogs with like very black inside mouths, and these are some of the smartest dogs you'd ever see. And it's
oh,
interesting.
yeah.
Well, this is way off topic from The Devil's a Part-Timer season 2, huh?
Yeah, we were about to start the whole deal with the devil's part timer. Um, man, so what did they do exactly? Like, what do the reviews say?
Uh, let's see. Apparently, like for one, like the studio, just paraphrasing here, Studio 3HZ seems to specialize in chibi girls with overly large and vacant eyes. Let's see. Apparently, like once you get over the difference in character style, the animation is the main issue. Apparently, it's ridiculously over exaggerated even for anime. Pretty odd angles that make the characters seem alien, with extremely poorly choreographed fight scenes and cheap and dated animation with still shots to cut costs. And apparently, like once you get past episode 3, there's just a sharp nosedive. And then, like, I'm gonna just read out the person labeled Headache 2 characters, like just the first paragraph. Let's get one thing straight. These are not the characters you know from season 1. Someone dug up their corpses and weekend at Bernie'd them. Damn. Like,
Wow.
that's impressive. Apparently, Emmy and Chiho have a crush on Mao and get flustered around him in the way of full blown middle schooler panic,
Uh,
like every time
Emmy,
Brazier.
Emmy, Emmy is the hero, right? That was supposed to kill him at the beginning,
I think, like, I think if I recall right, that was
and
ouch.
then
Umbrella fight, yeah.
yeah, and I think Chiho is supposed to be. Hold on, let me look up the character cast real quick for this crap because it's been such a long time. Like I remember faces, can't fucking remember names to save my life. Let's see. Sure. Well, oh, here we go. Characters. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Chiho. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on a second.
Oh
No,
no.
because it's no. Okay, they did fuck this up because it was already implied that Chiho had a fucking crush on him, but Emmy absolutely abhors his ass.
Yep.
She understands that she's starting to kind of warm up to him, sure, but that's just because she realized early on, oh, he's cleaning up his act because he doesn't want his minions that are crossing over to ruin what he's building here.
Yep.
But even like she thinks, oh, he's trying to start a demon empire in this world. Mao is just like, bro, I just want to fuck off. This is the best. I don't have to worry about doing shit. I just have to work, get up, work, get paid, come home, wake up tomorrow, do it all again. This is
Hmm.
awesome. He went from a dude that's constantly having to watch his back because he is the reason the world ends to, oh wow. So this is what it's like to just live like a human.
Hmm.
Like I'm thinking, I think what was it? I haven't watched it yet, but I'm thinking it would probably. See that I don't think this is classified as a reverse isekai. The Misfit of Demon King Academy, I think would be like a good comparison.
That name does not sound familiar to me. I think I might have missed that
It
one.
came out last year, or it came out in 2020, and it I think it's like it shows that the runtime was from 2020 to 2023. From what I hear, it's pretty good, but someone that I knew was like, "Yeah, this is kind of like a reverse isekai." I'm just like, "How so?" It's like, "Oh, well, it's in the real world," and I'm like, "The fuck? Okay, that sounds weird."
Man, I still can't believe that like we never got a like new Rosario the Vampire adaptation. Like it's more than time, Animation
Holy
Studios.
fuck! Have you read the mangas for that shit?
No, I only ever had the chance to watch like the season that was on Netflix back in
Yeah,
the day.
so they only ever made 3 seasons, I think, because there was season one, then there was season two. No, I take that back. Yeah, they only did 2 seasons because the first season had to do with him having to solve his issue of him being human, which they immediately deviate from the story in the manga because in the manga he actually is slowly transforming into a vampire.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but no, in the anime, it's no, it's usually the vampire chick that's actually kicking ass on his behalf every single time someone tries to step up and be the badass,
Yeah, that was
and
pretty annoying.
she immediately reminds them, "No, you're not him. You're just a side character," and proceeds to slap them around. Where in the anime, sorry, in the manga, she's able to hold her. She actually holds her own and is kicking ass. But then the main character, was it Sukune? Is he is just fucking broken for someone who like gets his first infusion of vampirism. He is fucking broken. He basically one taps the first dude that tried to talk shit. The problem is that he when he gets bitten, the transformation is temporary. So as time goes on, I think the more times he gets bit, he actually starts turning more and more into a vampire in the manga. I don't remember how they resolved that because at the end of season one, it was a whole different ending on the anime, and I hadn't bothered to continue going with the manga, which I might actually revisit and read through it.
If I remember right, it's been like shit 10 years give or take since I've seen it. But like if I
Yeah.
remember right, like that they didn't even really address that. It
No,
like they didn't even touch that shit. Like we got like around the time of the cliff, like there was a cliffhanger, and then nothing really got resolved, and just really like it was shitty, dude.
the second season. Sorry, the ending of the first season and the I think yeah the first. So the ending for season one, he came real close to dying in the anime, and he gets his first vampire bite, and that brings him back,
That I
and
remember.
he proceeds to beat the absolute shit out of the Nine Tails. So they like, okay, fine, fuck it, we'll throw it in there once, but then the rest of season two, they never touch on what the hell happened to him.
Season 2
And
sucked, and I almost wonder if it was from a different studio.
I don't think it was. I think it was from the same studio. It's just they had to basically continue deviating because again, they were not making the main character look as broken as he actually is in the manga. And then the entirety of the story for the first and second season, he's made to look like he can't fight for shit, but whenever it's time for someone to get their ass handed to them, he steps in and kind of goes, "Hey, we don't actually have to kill them. They can clean up their act and shit."
Yeah,
Where
didn't it kind of just evolve into like a harem anime?
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Where like in the manga that doesn't happen. Like everyone actually I remember at one point you had everybody breaking off to go do their own thing. Fucking the witch got involved with the mafia or some shit.
Like I said, it is more than time for a new Rosario to Vampire anime. Just
Yeah,
fucking do it. If Fruits Basket
it's
can
like
do it, this can too.
you had the witch girl actually grew up and became a full blown witch, and she got involved with the mafia, and you got this dude who can like summon revolvers as his fucking skill. Like it's like it was so the manga was.
Did he at least dress
I
up like
just
a Westaboo to do it like proper
no
justice?
homeboy was full like Italian mafia garb.
See, that
It
is a
was
shame.
he
Should have
looked
been
so fucking badass.
fair enough, but like if you're summoning revolvers, you gotta be a rootin' tootin' gunslinger, in my opinion, man.
Well, see, it's like if I remember correctly, there was at one point it stopped being revolvers and it was a fucking snake with a minigun for a head.
Okay, I
And then like
that's cool. Are you
one of
okay,
the
kitty?
panels, he has like a C-97 Mauser.
German?
So it's weird. Trying to remember what else happened. I think like by that point, I think like a number of people had broken away to go do their own thing. New characters were introduced, and one character was killed off.
Okay,
Yeah, but like no mention what the fuck's going on with the main character at this point. Like they shifted focus to someone else.
okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Going back to Devil is a part timer. Apparently, the
Yes,
Shiro character, like who played the housewife role, I guess, and was very frugal. Apparently,
the roommate.
yeah, apparently now petty cash is his one and only concern in life. And with the new season, season 2
What
of
the
Devil's a part
fuck?
timer. You know how?
How with
Yeah, that who?
that makes no sense. The motherfucker was the general for the demon army. He just kept doing the same stupid shit he was doing before they got yeeted into the real world.
Yep.
It's like I still have to track our finances because we can't afford to go broke now. We're closer than we've ever been to being broke. There was a whole moment I remember in the season one where he lost his shit because they spent money to buy a bottle of honey and some cucumbers because if you mixed cucumbers with honey it tastes like melon. He's like, if you wanted melons, you should have just bought melons. It's cheaper.
See, like that is yeah. I just
And he's just flying off at the wheel. And he's just like, fuck, it's costing us cash. Stop it.
that show was great. Like, what the hell happened, man? You know how apparently Mao
It's been too
teased
long.
like Emmy now and again.
Uh huh.
Apparently, in the first episode, he called her flat-chested out of the blue, which is, of course, just so in character for someone who's mature and responsible, of course.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
And apparently, the voice actors all shrieked their lines to match the terrible animation.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they're
Man,
trying
come
to
on.
turn Alas Ramus, whoever the fuck that character is. Like, I really need to rewatch or get a hold of the manga at some point. apparently turned her into the next Anya from Spy Family, and really pushing the oh cute little kitty angle. And they with the art style animation, according to this person, it makes her seem creepy and unnatural. Which, bruh, how the hell do you fuck up that badly?
I mean, how the hell does anyone fuck up anything nowadays? Like,
Yeah.
how do you fuck up Suicide Squad? Like, that should have been an easy thing to do, and no, they fucked that up six ways from Sunday.
Yep.
Um, one. I think it's been too long, and this new the way I see it, if this is like if this is like a new animation studio, they probably don't got that many things under their belt going for them. So it could have just been like, hey, you trusted this work to a new animation studio, and yeah, they dropped the ball. This is not their best work, and this may be their worst, or it this is just gonna be the consistency. It's always just gonna be shit.
See, I still don't know why the hell, like, a new studio, or I assume new, got the rights to it. It should have been someone like Funimation or Toei.
Yeah, there was a buddy of mine who was very into. He was very into watching. I think what was it, High School DxD is what his favorite was.
I can see that. It's a
Yeah,
it's it exists.
yeah. I'm looking at this, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not watching this. But it's cool that you enjoy it, so go ahead. But it's just not my cup of tea.
I managed
And part
an episode. Ah,
it's just fan service all the way
oi,
through this. They're like it's like fan service first, and then oh hey,
little shit.
the feline demands attention.
No, no, I gave the cat a smooch and it fucking whacked me in the cheek.
Oh,
No claws, just a quick smack.
I did not ask for it.
Crotchety little
Cats
shit.
got minds of their own. You're never gonna be able to time it right.
Worst part is we don't even know how old this cat is. Like, we got adopted it fully grown, like 2017 or
Jeez,
18.
might be an old one.
Maybe, but it's been like this since day one. It's always been real persnickety.
Uh, well, eh,
Yeah,
that's a cat for you. Can't do much about it.
yeah.
Um, so the so the anyways, it's like I watched an episode with him. I'm like, bro, this whole thing is fan service telling a story. Just like I'm gonna fall asleep watching this with you.
Like, if I
He
want to.
starts up the second. He starts up the second episode. Sure enough, I fell asleep 15 minutes in, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Just if just enjoy this shit yourself. I can't watch it. About like a couple years later, he's like, dude, they ruined it. I'm like, what's going on? He's telling me about how they switched animation studios after the first season or so, or the first or second season, I don't remember. And it doesn't look anything. It doesn't look anything like what the original started off with. It's like lower quality animation, or like low, or because of the different art style, it looks like it's a lower quality animation. And I'm just like, okay, man. And he's showing me like comparisons, and I'm like, it looks like they got a new animation studio, and these guys are still having to figure out how to do the same type of work, or maybe this is the art style they specialize in. This is gonna happen, especially if they couldn't hire the old crew.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I'm sorry, them's the breaks. If this was like if this was like a live action show, you wouldn't have those kinds of problems. But with animation, you've got the company that's spearheading the entire project, but then you have the animation team that has to come behind it and like draw everything and get it animated alongside the actual artist himself, or you don't get an anime.
Yep. If I'm gonna watch
um,
an anime that's like fan service or whatever, I'm not watching High School DxD. Like, if I'm watching fan service with a story, I'm watching something like High School of the Dead.
yeah, see that one I can get behind. That one was actually pretty cool because it's like, yeah, You're trying to survive zombies in Japan.
Speaking of zombies in Japan, what is your opinion of Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead?
Let me look that up. What's it called? Zom 100?
Yeah, ZOM 100 Bucket List of the Dead. Because I myself thought it was really good. Like, I caught it at one point, like, not too long ago, and I thought it was really excellent. One of the best anime to come out this, well, I say this year, but was it this year? Either way, though, like, really, really good.
Holy shit! I like how they're depicting the zombies.
It's really good, dude. Like,
I gotta watch this.
if you get the chance, definitely, dude. It's one of the best anime to come out recently. I'm hoping for a season 2 pretty soon. Even though it'll probably be like next year, or the year after, assuming that it
You
doesn't
know
get
what would be?
dropped.
You know what would be cool to see a season two of?
Hmm.
Gate.
Yeah, I could see that.
That
Yeah.
I just like the idea. It's like you have the Japanese defense force is like fucking kicking ass in a portal that takes them to a different realm.
Speaking of portals in different realms, what is your opinion on solo leveling?
I have not watched it yet. I've heard that it is uh someone was saying it's like this is comparable to Eminence and Shadow, which I haven't watched that one either, but I know that like I Am Atomic is a fucking meme now.
I am Atomic. Never heard of it.
It's so like Eminence and Shadow. Apparently, the main character, it's literally his title. He is the Eminence and Shadow, and his sister is the one that's actually running everything. He's just doing everything from the background. But the whole shit is that Homeboy is making moves from the shadows, but then it's like everything that he does just happens exactly how he thought it was going to, but he's just making shit up as he goes. So like he'll put a team together, backstab them, and then say, "Oh, it's because I was testing you." Because there's this other, you know, in the shadows organization that we have to face off against, and turns out, oh yeah, there is actually a shadow organization that took notice of him. He didn't know that they took notice of him though. Fate just he says something and fate just makes it so. That's literally the whole spiel for the anime.
That sounds goofy as hell. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It is fucking hilarious, but it's at the same time though it does for really good storytelling because there's a fucking moment where I think like I watched like I think what was an episode from like season 2 or season 3, and he's facing off against the vampire queen and is like 2 seconds away from saying his like his finishing sentence when he like basically sends someone to the shadow realm forever. And instead of saying I am atomic, he says I am reverse atomic, and then just undoes the fact that everybody got hit with a virus infection, or sorry, a vampire infection, without killing the queen.
Okay.
Because well, yeah, but it's like him and the queen are actually friends at that point in time, but something happens where someone tried to assassinate her with an explosive, so her own powers kicked in to keep her alive. But that also makes her feral, so now everything around her is a target,
Okay.
and that also kickstarts a basically like a World War Z, but instead of zombies, it's rabid vampires,
So, Stakeland.
pretty much. It was intense, and then it just finishes it off with, oh hey look, the guy is like the main character hasn't been in this fight the whole time that this shit's been going on, right up until the very end. Shows up one tap, and then is about to do the thing, and instead does something else entirely and saves the day without killing the queen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a whole deal. It's very flashy. It's very intense. It's very like high speed and high action.
Alright.
I enjoyed it. I haven't watched all of it, but I very much enjoyed it. And they do really good with the storytelling also. Um,
And you
As
probably
far
won't
as
like solo leveling then.
I find things that I like in a lot of different animes. I'm not a one track person when it comes to watching anime. Like I've watched High School of the Dead through the whole spiel. I liked it. I watched Rosario Vampire. I like that one too. I've watched Trigun. I haven't watched all of One Piece, but I do like what I watched when I was in school when they were airing it, and I'm sure that I'll what everything I have to catch up with is something that I'll also enjoy. I enjoyed Naruto. I enjoyed Naruto Shippuden, Dragon Ball Z. Um, was it 08 MS team from Gundam from the UC timeline? What else? It's like there's like a whole like backlog of shit that I can just tell you like, yeah, none of these are the same genre, and I like all of them.
That's fair. But like my thing like with solo leveling is like the way that they're doing it for the anime, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really feel like the story in some places feels a little disjointed, like they tried hurrying it up in some places, which I assume, trying to condense into anime episodes.
Right, right,
So
right.
like that's kind of whatever. But like the story just kind of feels weak.
Oh, this was a webtoons manga.
Yeah, or manhwa, I think, because this is Korean.
Yeah, yeah. I just I searched it up real quick, and like one of the little like images that pops up is him with like one of his eyes is kind of shaded over black, but then there's a blue light coming off of it, and there's like a smiling statue that just looks so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
man, yeah. It's here. Let me here. I'll pull it.
Like if that's what I think it is, that image is
Here, I'll put it
actually
in the yeah. I'll put it in the Discord for podcast ideas.
like from the very first episode, though.
Is that it? Is that the right one?
I mean, that's the right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like at least the that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this alludes to the very first episode of solo leveling.
Yeah, I just remember that bit in the manual where it's just like they are following Bible verses and they fuck up.
Yep.
And it was a raid. That was the best part. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like a raid, like something that would be involved in a raid. And sure enough, it ends up just team wipe.
Speaking of Bible verses, I suppose this makes as good a segue as anyways. But
What's up?
a few days ago, I asked you, what is your opinion on the Nickelback song "Believe It or Not" from your perspective as an Orthodox Christian?
So I started listening to it, then I just had to keep listening to it on repeat. Um, I honestly like it. As far as what I think about it, they are pretty much just it. If I had to do this like without knowing how Nickelback like like does their songs, because I've listened to a lot of their songs, I would say they're calling everybody out. This is just social commentary on how everybody pretty much is.
Yep,
From the chorus to the lyrics that they're using in between the chorus, it's just calling everyone out on their bullshit. Like, y'all ain't about what you say you're about.
yep.
And that just goes for everybody. I'm just like, woo, that's a loaded song. That's a good song. It's loaded as hell.
Not to cut you off, by the way, and I do fully agree with what you're saying, but your mic is starting to get crunchy again.
Ah, dang it. Here, let me see if I can fix it up real quick.
No problem. But yeah, no, it's an incredibly loaded song, and it's very accurate social commentary, like you said. Like it very much covers everything, and yeah, like I even asked one of my friends who's a recent convert to Catholicism what their opinion on this was. Let me just scroll up through the conversation. Uh, Man, we got fucking weird. Uh, Hold on. Good lord, do I have a lot of stuff to scroll up? Let's see. Allegations, blah blah blah. Calumny, yep. Addiction, yep. Uh huh. Here we go. I like that song a bit. because like okay, like there's a song about drunkenness, but then there he is speaking of a common urge amongst many to have a belief in something better once that life fizzles out. Like that's kind of all she said about that, which was interesting. But yeah, no, I can see that. Like I had my own thoughts because like I didn't do much like in the way of like even now I'm not doing much in the way of Christian rituals, but I did actually for Good Friday. I gave up something that I do usually all the time for the 3 days and 3 nights. Like sorry to kind of just go way off topic in a way, but can you hear me? Ah, shit! I think we lost Komoku. Well, but yeah, no, it's a very loaded song because yeah, like there's all sorts of shit. Like let me actually find the Nickelback "Believe It or Not" lyrics.
And here I thought I'd fixed it. That's
Ah,
interesting.
here we go. You're back now.
Yeah, I tried changing inputs to see if that fixed the issue, and I guess I sort of just accidentally offed my own audio.
Shit happens, man.
It's this it's this voice mod takes priority one, but then as soon as something doesn't go right and voice mod isn't happy with it, it won't let the audio through, which is so weird.
I don't even really use voice mod anymore, except for like very rarely if I'm doing shit like scam baiting, which I gotta start doing again. Cause like voice mod really fucks your audio. Like it'll make it really crunchy and whatnot. Like even sometimes listening.
Yeah,
So I have that shit shut off most of the time.
which is weird because I'll be over here and I don't really use anything specific. I'll just use the clean setting, and
The clean setting I
for
find
it
makes it way worse.
really.
Yeah, no, for being rather, labeled clean, no, that thing has some serious issues.
That's interesting.
Calm down, cats.
Um so okay, so I'm just trying to bring us back. Yo, if you need a minute, go ahead.
No,
I'll try
no,
to
it's
get my
it's
thoughts in order.
it's fine, dude. Like I guess I'll read out some of the lyrics. Believe it or not, everyone have things that they hide. Believe it or not, everyone keeps most things inside. Believe it or not, everyone believes in something above. Believe it or not, everyone needs to feel loved. But know that we won't until we figure out could someone deliver us and send us some kind of sign. So close to giving up, 'cause faith is so hard to find. You know that you won't until we figure out. I've seen it a lot every time the world turns upside down. Believe it or not, most of us feel like we're losing ground. Believe it or not, everyone hates admitting fear. Believe it or not, most of us want to know why we're here, why we're here. But we know that we won't until we figure out. And, just back to the chorus. Could so,
Yeah, that's you could just take that song and apply it to any aspect of human life.
and like this song, like even now, is still incredibly relevant because
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Heck, even now, even now into like speaking of now as in all the crap that's going on, it's everybody's just wondering, okay, is shit about to just burn to a crisp, or is there something to look forward to after all of it's done and said and done?
speaking of burned
Um,
to a crisp, not to segue, but did you see the recent hate crime that happened where they decided to like I think it was like yesterday, where they burnt a friggin' like trailer that was hauling Bibles?
whoa,
Yeah, like it was
man, come on,
like
that
I
is
saw that shit. Like supposedly there's going to be an investigation, but like there's probably not going to be. And where this is Christian, like they're probably just gonna real probably just gonna sweep that under the rug and not call it a hate crime. But
I
like
mean,
it's against a fucking religion. Like if this was the Torah or the Quran, this would be a hate
oh,
crime and there would
people,
be shit
if it was the
everywhere.
if it was the Quran, there'd be fucking protests or protests, more like riots.
Yup.
Um, it just I didn't even know that that was a thing that happened, and I want to look into it to see what the heck happened and what's come of it since then.
Like, if you
But
want, I can look that one up myself.
yeah.
Bible trailer burn.
Oh, it looks like there's one in.
Yeah, apparently
Yep. Okay,
happened.
this is Tennessee.
Yeah,
Yep.
right outside of the church that the trailer of Bibles was set on fire.
Wow,
On
the timing of that.
Yeah, it was on Easter
Six
Sunday.
a.m. Sunday. Yeah, and then the day before, I think it was Biden saying that Easter. It was it March 31st is Trans Visibility Day.
I'm not
Not
going to
that
get
that has
into that
anything to do
topic
with it.
because that is a
Yeah,
loaded topic, and I'm not doing that
it
on
is. It's
Twitch.
just yeah, it is. It's just for me. It's interesting. That it's like okay, first that happens, then this, and I'm just like okay, what happened?
That being said, I actually do plan to get into topic with this because I've got a line with a like person who happens to work in the sex work industry who actually
Right.
like has seen a lot of the stuff happening in the community firsthand, and we want to at some point really talk about that,
Oh, I would be down to listen into that just because I'm sure there's a lot of stories that need to be told.
especially with the
Um,
grooming that happens. But I'm not going to
yeah,
elaborate further because again, how
yeah,
dare I
yeah.
mention that? But
Um, let's see. So I actually need to read this real quick to see because they just say they're investigating a fire, but then again, this is of course it's Fox. Let's
yep.
see. Um. Oh, it wasn't even an open trailer. This stuff was just sitting open air.
I hadn't realized that because, like, if you were to look on Twitter around the time, it showed you just a regular trailer that was burning, not the
Yeah,
open air
it's
thing.
the yeah, no, no, no. This is yeah. It's just a regular trailer. When you said truck, I was thinking like a like a like a full like cargo van or something like that.
Going by Twitter, that's exactly what had happened. But that's interesting. Like, I didn't realize it was open air either because Twitter had it already
Yeah, it's just
spun to say a truck full of.
this is like like your typical trailer that you buy at like a trailer world or something like
So
that or
like a
something that like a
boat
place would
hauler almost.
not even a boat hauler. It's just like your typical trailer that has a you load your lawnmower on this thing essentially, or your zero turn, or your quad bikes or whatever. You can just load them onto this thing because the door that you take the safety pins out, door flaps down, and then you can just ride your stuff onto the trailer, close the door back up, make sure you have everything hitched to the trailer, and you're off to the races if you're trying to go out somewhere to go uh tough mudding.
So then, yeah, this was an intentionally planned out hate crime.
I'm just like how do you not first off, why was this stuff sitting outside, and why is there like no information on like how do you not have like a security camera or something on the premises? Because with how often people are vandalizing churches and whatnot, it behooves someone to like take a look at the situation and be like, okay, first things first, we need security cameras. Those aren't hard to get a hold of.
You can buy like even a what is it, like 4 camera security system for what, $60 now? Like I just picked up, I think like it was just the box for it, but a 16
Right.
camera used on eBay for, well, actually I say used, but like direct from factory. I think that was about $80, and that was from a pretty good brand. It's like it's
Yeah,
not
there was
exactly
there
like
was
security cameras are expensive anymore.
there was a coworker of mine a couple years back that not a couple. This was like almost half a decade ago. I had to help them set up an entire security cam network because they were getting harangued by someone. We didn't know what was going on, but at first their mailbox was being driven into, and then after that, someone started whoever was doing that was possibly also keying their car, and then it got really bad when we all left the shift one morning and realized that, hey, such and such's car had their tires slashed. It's like, oh, this is getting out of hand now because that means it happened while we were either all working or while we were all on our lunch break.
Damn.
Yeah, and you know, our work being our work, sure, they were parked near a security camera that would have caught everything, but our bosses couldn't be bothered to go ask for the security tapes, even though the cops were also there.
Damn.
Which is like, well, it was one of those deals where it's like, unless it's actually a criminal investigation, they can't really go asking for security tapes or whatnot. I'm just like, that's fucking bullshit because it is a criminal investigation. Not it's not that it's a criminal investigation, but this is gonna become one if if she ends up dying.
Mm-hmm.
Her home's being wrecked. Her home life is kind of being thrown up into the air right now because of the constant harassment that's happening outside. And now the shit's followed her to her workplace. Nah.
That's.
At some point, the oh, what's up?
Oh no, sorry, you first.
I was gonna say at some point it just all stopped when whoever it was that was doing this realized that friends got involved because me and a bunch of other people started like trying to help out around as best we could. I helped out by setting up this security cam network, and then um, I think a different guy figured out a way to set up some like it was like a dash cam, but it had like a 360 degree view from inside the cabin. So if you had this thing set up under the rear view mirror, it could see everything.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't even know where the heck they found that camera, much less one that could run off of a power bank. But that was awesome.
That sounds it.
And yeah, but it's it's like, come on, man. The simplest thing you could do is set up a security cam.
It's
But
it's
no,
dead easy. Like when we set ours up back in 2000, it was either I'd like to say 16, but it was either I think closer to 17 or 18. Like we had to set ours up because Ma was getting quite paranoid because there was a lot of shit happening around here, and what like there's probably some because ancient Indian burial ground that had fucking desecrated graves when they moved in. There's the normal that shit, but like there was shit just disappearing and stuff like that. And then one time we even had a dude who was clearly casing a place come in, and that was interesting. Like we still have the cameras now, cause yeah,
jeez, man.
yeah. Despite what they say
It's always
about
good to hold on to them. Yeah.
yeah, like despite what they say about small towns like this, like there's rampant drugs, and because this is Maine, unfortunately there's incest. Like I've talked briefly touched upon this, but there's a lot of fucking incest in Maine. And like there's
Jeez.
yeah, no, it's a mess. Like if it ain't drugs, it's incest or it's other shit. And like I hate to say that, but like I've seen enough of it and it's like bruh. Like I mean we all know it. Like it's kind of an open secret here. There's a lot of incest and like I said, unfortunately drugs. If it's not crack, it's heroin, meth, or fentanyl. Man.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. And I don't see that shit getting much better, honestly. If anything, I see it getting worse. Cause hell, it is
Yeah.
fucking actively getting worse. Hell, we just had like a couple months back, like about a half hour away, there was a Chinese-owned marijuana grow that got taken down.
Yeah,
Like
I
that,
was I was hearing chatter on that like apparently there's some like it's so fucking weird. Like it's apparently there's these people that are like have ties to the Chinese government that are allowed to come into the U.S., buy land, and do whole like growing operations in the U.S. while still being tied to the Chinese government. I'm just like that doesn't sound right.
yep. But
And sure enough, all the paperwork hits the chatter, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's real.
yep, here we are. Just some great border policies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, like I hate to say it, but like we are in such a bad situation right now with all this. Like I don't see this getting better, even like if a new administration comes in.
I mean, honestly, the only way it would get better is one of two ways. Uh, what was it? Everyone thinks this is a pie in the sky, which is if Schedule F is activated.
Schedule F.
Yeah, that's basically if day one the president orders Schedule F, basically every agency, I think what is it? Every agency is dissolved and fired. So immediately you just see every single three-letter agency get removed from. They're basically told you're shutting down operations immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if you don't, you basically get thrown in jail for treason. Um, Apart from that, I think also I don't think it affects the Senate or the House, but there's like some other stuff there that can be done too, where it's just basically this one schedule that is well within the president's purview can be activated, and the entire government is just flushed out within 24 hours, and they have to start holding elections and whatnot.
That'll never happen. Even if we
Yeah,
do get a Trump-style candidate, that's never gonna fucking happen.
yeah,
Like, people would love to be like, yeah, no, if he comes in, blah blah blah. But it's like, dude, didn't even fucking do it the first time. Why would he do it this time? Like, he claimed to want to drain the swamp, but if anything, it got worse. It got more bold. It realized,
yeah.
oh yeah,
He made the mistake of trusting his own team.
yep,
Because the dude ran as a Republican president, got elected, and then he trusted that the Republicans would have his back. And he realized his own team was also backstabbing him.
yep.
Unfortunately, he didn't realize it until he was already on his last year, so he tried doing what he can and then left. Now, if he comes back in, he can't trust anybody, so everyone's wondering how the heck he's going to run things.
Unless he does Schedule F, which I doubt will happen, even though I'd love to see the ATF, among other agencies, gone.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I absolutely loathe the fun police, but I absolutely
Oh, I
loathe the
just I
fun
just want
police.
I just want to have a select fire option that has an option three, you know?
I want true accountability, not this horse shit where those who happen to have wrongthink just happen to get disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shit show. So I'm reading this and it's very interesting. Apparently it wasn't just a simple, oh, we found, they found this thing burning outside the church. It's it was apparently the trailer was taken the trailer was dropped off overnight. Well, apparently it was taken and it was placed between the entrance to their driveway that leads to their parking lot and the intersection that allows people to drive into the parking lot through that driveway.
And
And
the
it was just
guy,
set on fire there, and they didn't find it until Sunday morning when the pastor actually arrived to get ready for his sermon.
would it have, like, do you have a picture of that on Google Maps, perchance? Like that
No, I just
location?
have the information. I just have the information of here. Hold on one second.
Because, like, if that's where you say it is, theoretically, that would be at least semi visible from the road.
Uh huh.
So the fact
Um,
that that wasn't somehow spotted seems a hair suspicious to me.
let's see. All the photos that are being taken right now are during the day, and then for whatever reason, I guess someone decided that a photo of dudes in tactical gear was
Oops,
uh
sorry, cat.
was important to add in with this.
Hmm, what a shocker there, huh?
Yeah, it's just a lot of these photos are unrelated.
I'm
Just
not surprised.
logos, logos, logos. It's like maybe yeah. It's so here. I'll pull these and I'll send them in
Alright, no
real
problem. Let
quick.
me open up Discord real quick on my phone. I got the Podcast Ideas channel open.
Jesus, this thing's not just gonna let me pull it directly. That's weird.
But like I said, just listening to you describe it, plus the way a lot of churches are laid out with their driveways, something like that theoretically would be visible from the road if it was set on fire. And now, like, I'm not the type to be like, oh, this story's horseshit, blah blah blah. But the more I'm hearing, it's like something's rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yeah, for real. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, shot's been copied. Let me go ahead and let the first one in.
Okay.
Podcast ideas. So that's the first one, and I'll go ahead and get the other one ready up for you.
Yeah, something like
So
this.
that's,
Like that's the trailer right next to the fire truck, right?
yep,
Something like
little
that.
thing.
There's no way in hell you wouldn't notice that shit, like burning near a friggin' what is that, a
Yeah,
dogwood tree or an apple tree?
I don't know. This is Tennessee.
Like it's some sort of
And I'm,
tree. Like I'll try to put it on the camera. Like it's some sort of pink blooming tree. Like ain't no way in hell that that would not be fucking visible from the road.
yeah, it's just like I kind of want to, like, when you mentioned it, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And now that I'm reading into it, I'm like, dude, this definitely doesn't sound right.
I almost wonder. Like I'm not the type to scream like, oh, people are faking hate crimes and doing blasphemy to garner attention,
Hmm.
but
It has been done.
unfortunately,
And it's just like, there's the second image, and it's just,
these
I'm like,
are
man, something don't,
some of these are
something don't seem right.
like I've burned an old Bible that like aren't you supposed to get rid of Bibles that are like in really bad disrepair by burning them?
I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Like I'm fairly certain you are. Like I've burned one of those old ones that all the pages were coming out, the whole front and spine were gone. Like
They usually just rebind them. You don't really need to burn them
like all the
if the pages
pages were like fucked too, dude. Like it was.
are. Oh,
Yeah, no, she was fucked. She needs to be burned because yeah.
I I don't. I've never heard of beyond repair Bibles being burned. Usually, just they just trash them.
Okay. Like I was told
I've
like to burn it, so that's what I did.
oh yeah,
That was like a year ago. Well, I say year, but like I don't know. I'd like to say 6 or 7 months.
yeah.
Something. Yeah. And like looking at these, the way these are burned,
It
if
looks like someone just threw gas on them real quick, and then like that must have been done
but then some of these
that
Bibles
freaking
look
morning.
a lot, yeah, exactly like that morning. But like some of these Bibles look remarkably intact for having been on a burning trailer.
Yeah, and
Cause
then the trailer itself doesn't have much carbon scoring, so that fire must not have been burning for too long.
either that or I wonder if some of these were kind of burnt in a separate place than put on.
Yeah, could be. Oh, it's it's weird, bro.
Yeah, that kind of seems a little bullshit. And I hate to
But
say that, but
anyways, but like I was gonna say, like props to the what is the sheriff's deputies. Um, they're saying they're saying that they won't be releasing specific details of what's going on with the incident just because they need to do their investigation. So it's like, all right, cool. Just
what do you think money is on? Like, it's gonna be the guy who just happened to quote unquote discover it arrested, or do you think it's gonna be someone on like someone else?
um, I don't know. Honestly, I can't see this being the pastor one because you're gonna seriously, like, what, you're burning 200 Bibles to garner attention to your church. At that point, it's like, okay, how bad is your church doing that you thought this was a good idea? Now this makes you look bad, and it's gonna just end up being the thing that shuts down your church permanently. Because there
Yeah.
have been churches where it's because of the fact that their membership numbers were so abysmal. They just, instead of trying to shut down, they kind of end up doing something egregious, and it ends up being what causes them to shut down. And
Yep.
that's just on the Catholic side of things. I'm not even talking about what this is.
Yep. Unfortunately, egregious stuff just seems to be like, I don't know, is it just me or does like egregious shit seem to be like more and more common now?
Yeah, yeah. It's what was it? And that's just like looking at it from social media side of things. Literally being egregious is rewarded with more clicks
Yep. Well, I mean, like I can't
because
say anything
everything is
myself for
algorithm
that
controlled.
because like I'm an asshole online. I mean, you've seen this, I'm an
Hmm.
asshole online. It does garner clicks.
No, it's funny. You just got me thinking of Fratanga. If you ever watched this stuff,
I don't think the name sounds familiar.
so
How,
he comments on essentially what are salty fanboys for literally anything. Like, if it's salty fanboys for Xbox, salty fanboys for PlayStation, and then the influencers for said consoles, uh, salty fanboys for Nintendo. Not that those actually exist often, but when they do, it's an interesting thing to see. Um, I know there was a bunch of fanboys that were trying to bash Mutahar because Mutahar had a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because he managed to get his hands on it, and then because he bought it, he then figured out how to get it emulated on his Steam Deck, I think.
okay.
And people were like trying to harangue him and get him canceled off the internet. And it's like, it's not illegal to do that. He's well within his rights.
Exactly. Like the dude said like far more cancelable shit and you're going after him for emulation? Seriously,
Yeah,
guys?
and it's nothing new. Like, even for Tango pointed out, this fucker always emulates because he likes the idea of preserving the old shit, especially when the new shit looks like a dog turd that just got pooped up that morning.
Oh, wait. Sorry. But yes, like stuff like that is one of the reasons why I'm still like despite having every generation of Xbox console, like I'm very against Microsoft cuz
Yeah, now
like
that they're shifting everything to digital only.
I mean even if not for that, like the Xbox One is still not emulatable. And like
No.
there's even at least one or two Xbox 360 consoles that you cannot modify. Like you can't mod at all because of the way that they were built.
Which is insane
Yup.
because you can get what was it? You can get the ISOs and the ROMs for all of that. You just can't use the hardware to pull stuff.
Unfortunately, like because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like most of the Xbox 360s are able to be used like for like modding and doing that shit with. However, like I said, there's like two or three models that you can't. Like one I believe was called
Yeah.
the Winchester model, and
Eh, that's funny.
yeah, like it was a very interesting name. Like some of the code names they had for the Xbox 360 consoles were pretty nice. Like my
If
favorites
I got a model
are
named Winchester, I'd be happy as hell.
yeah, exactly. I believe my modded one is an Opus. It's either that
Uh,
or a Falcon. Could be a Jasper, but I don't think so.
Jeez, that's a whole world in and of itself then.
Like the Xbox 360 Slim model, that most people know and love is the Xbox 360
Yeah, the black one?
Trinity.
Oh, okay. So I've got a Trinity. What about is the R2D2 one also called Trinity, or does that have
Yeah,
a
I believe
different
that's one of
designation?
the Trinity models. Yeah, but they're like some of those models, despite looking the same, had different plugs and had like different names. Like I think we're like
Okay.
two or three different names for those Slims.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, there's some
I'll have
pretty
to
cool
check.
stuff.
I'll have to check mine. See what's up with it.
Like
Yeah, because I got my Trinity model sitting in the back of the office right now, just on standby.
I have a modded 360, but like my issue with the modded 360, some of the software for like trying to play your ROMs and whatnot does not
Right.
work right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a shame because like I wanted to play like, my copy I had of Forza Motorsport 3, but like if I have it on the disc, I can play it. But if I use a ROM or try to, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work, and I have to, in order to get it to work, I have to launch a custom dash.
Sheesh.
Yeah, like rather than the software that's supposed to be able to be used to play the stuff, instead you have to go out of your way to have a custom dash. I granted, there's some cool custom dashes out there, but that's not the point. I shouldn't have to get a custom dashboard just to launch
Yeah,
up
that's
some
going too
games.
far.
And like
Yeah, that's
hell,
that's going way too far on that.
yeah, like there's even software you can supposedly use on there for like getting the DLC unlocked. But 9 times out of the 10, even if you have the DLC on your drive, good fucking luck. And like I've even asked support for help with that, and I've had issues. I say support, but like support from the actual makers of the modding software, or even in communities, and like I still get major issues with it. And it's like, okay, that definitely wasn't a waste of like 100 some odd bucks for the console and then the service.
Yep. Um, that kind of remind. That's just kind of what like pissed me off about owning both the PSP and the PS Vita.
The Vita actually still has some games that go online even now, believe it or
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's just the fact that the company Sony just spat this thing out and barely touched it as far as updating it is concerned and giving it the quality of life improvements that it needed.
It is
And
really a shame because they
fast
could have gone
forward
against
2
Nintendo,
years after, yeah, they could have fucking dominated Nintendo, and give it 2 years, they end up pulling the plug on the entire thing because they were trying to focus on the PS4 more.
which was stupid. And like, sure, we got stuff like PlayStation 4, Linux. We got sure some
Yeah.
like good games and whatnot, like Bloodborne. But at the end of the day, considering how they really screwed up in the handheld market, was it worth it?
Hell no. Like, what was it? Their Sony State of Play from like last year. They're teasing. Oh yeah, we have something new to show you guys. This is our newest handheld, and it's a fucking glorified paperweight
Yeah, exactly.
because all it is just a stream. It's a stream mirror because all it does is links up to your PS5 and lets you see what's on your screen.
And if you want something like that, realistically, just get like one of those like if, assuming they still make them, like the like those little USB drive looking things that are like fully contained computers.
Yeah,
Just get one
yeah.
of
The
those,
the Raspberry Pis.
like get one of those PlayStation Plus and a Bluetooth controller, and you can do the same fucking thing, but for less and far
Yeah,
more competently.
yeah, and it doesn't just have a limitation of, oh, it has to be within Wi-Fi range of the PS5.
Hmm.
Because the beautiful thing about Raspberry Pi is you can add whatever the fuck you need to add to it to make it work from literally an unlimited range.
Speaking of Raspberry Pis, what's your opinion on the newest model to come out?
Let me take a look at it because I didn't even know a new model came out with it.
Yeah, I think it was like last year.
Because I've been thinking about using a Raspberry Pi and some extra equipment and probably making my own set of nods.
I yeah, I really want to get myself possibly like a Raspberry Pi 5 one of these days. Cause that like my
Ooh, this looks
ROMs,
nice.
yeah, it looks really friggin' good. And the specs for it too, dude. Hold on, let me
Let's see.
go into the Raspberry Pi store real quick. What the fuck is this?
All right, here we go. Tech specs. Let's go. Specification: 2.4 gigahertz quad core, Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
Ooh, cryptography extensions. You can encrypt the entire system.
and you can get up to 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
And you can even apparently connect an M.2 SSD now.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that
those load times.
even
Those
if,
load times.
dude, even if not that, that is such a major friggin' step up from the previous generations where the only storage you could get, last I knew, was fucking SD cards. And nothing
Yep.
against SD cards, but those wear out quick.
Yep.
Like, I
Video
learned.
cord.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just reading this. Oh, hey, it's running Vulkan.
Oh shit, I hadn't realized that. Like, I knew it was pretty
It's
good for
it's
emulation up to like Ether SX2, but damn.
yeah, it's the so it's got it's the video core GPU supports OpenGL 3 and Vulkan 1.2. So I'm just looking at like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, like shit, you could realistically run Dreamcast games if you throw something like I think Redream. Yeah, no, that one works on ARM because I had that on
Yeah.
my Pixel 7 for a while.
Dual 4K HDMI display output with HDR support. Nice.
Yeah, you could just realistically set that up like as a media server, especially with
Yeah.
your M.2
4K
drive. Like shit,
P60. Yep. 4K P60 HEVC decoder.
HEVC. Holy shit, that's really
Yeah, this
nice.
is this is this is coming in hot and heavy with everything. It's even got the dual band 802.11 for the Wi-Fi.
Which
Still got
802.11?
the micro SD. Yeah, 802.11 dual band AC.
Okay,
Yeah, which I think it what was it? I think my gaming modem runs 802.11AX,
that's what
which
mine
is
runs as well.
yeah. Bluetooth. Oh, Bluetooth low energy mode. Nice.
Very nice.
I'd probably just not use the Bluetooth. I'd figure out a way to get that taken out just because reasons.
That's fair. Like
Well,
I know
In my experience, it actually sucks up more power than it needs.
that it does. Like Bluetooth is real shitty about that. Like my phone, if I have Bluetooth on to listen to music, because rather than have a fucking headphone jack, which ah, like if I want to listen to music, I have to throw in my earbuds and just throw
Yeah.
on Bluetooth and hope like hell I'll have enough battery because I don't like having to grab a charger. Which thankfully this does support fast charging. But at the same
Oh, that's good.
time, like I don't like having to haul ass the about 50, yeah, about like 50 to 100 feet to grab my charger cable and then go back down, then you have to bring it back up. Like I know it's kind
Right.
of lazy, but like at the same time, like would it kill phone manufacturers to make phones with batteries that actually last the advertised time? Like, oh, it'll last a
Yeah.
couple of days. Yeah, I bet you thought.
I mean, under heavy load, it's not going to last that long. They're usually. I'm sure that their engineering dudes are trying to figure out how to actually get it to work for multiple days. It's just the problem is they're figuring it out under sterile conditions. But once you do heavy load in real life conditions, it's like unless you're actually testing for that setup, you're the engineers are never going to figure out how to get it done.
Thing is though, like I don't even do heavy loads. Like the most intensive thing I'll occasionally do, other than like Bluetooth listening to music, is I'll just be either shit posting on Twitter, which you'd think wouldn't use too much battery,
No,
or I'd be
and you don't even need a Bluetooth
reading.
for that. That's just your data.
Like,
That's just your standard data connection.
yeah, or just your Wi-Fi. Either way,
Yep.
like I'll do that, or I'll just load up
Ooh.
a book and I'll fucking read, which should not use anything, but that eats through battery like hell. Giving that up for Good Friday actually saved on a lot of battery life.
This thing's running two USB 3 ports that can both at the same time run 5 gigabit per second connections.
Which kind of USB 3? Are we
USB
talking?
3, yeah.
Are we talking the Type C? Or are we talking like the regular USB?
I think this is regular USB, but USB 3 definitely runs circles around USB 2
Oh yeah, by
because
a long shot.
but the fact that it's saying, yeah, you can do 5 gigabits per second on both connections at the same time, that is fucking wild.
That is a very lofty claim.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's
Two
true, that's
USB
awesome.
2s,
Sorry.
gigabit Ethernet plus. Oh, gigabit Ethernet with power over Ethernet plus support. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So the whole PoE, that's you can essentially plug in your Ethernet cable in the same way that you plug in a power supply.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I used to mess around with PoEs like that because I was trying to figure out a way to get a faster internet connection and go around the entire house. So I figured I could just use a PoE setup where there's just link-ins on the wall outlets, and it worked. It worked until I realized there's a certain cap because the PoE is limited to your own. It's limited to how the power grid works in your house. So if you don't have like the most up to date stuff, it's not going to be able to do everything possible because it has to work within the confines of your own power grid.
I mean, fair enough, but that's still really friggin' cool.
Yeah. So you just have these like TP Link or Asus wall outlets that double as Wi-Fi repeaters or also double as your Ethernet connection, and you're just distributing the internet from the modem into a power supply or into one of these repeaters that's then distributing it along the entire house's power grid.
I feel like that's all fun and games until you get a power surge.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily these things do have an inbuilt surge protector just for that. But it is one of those things where once the power surge hits, everything has to go offline temporarily until the thing rectifies itself.
Yeah.
It's it's more along the lines of once the power goes out, though, that whole PoE stops working, and you have to, if you have like an emergency connection that can run independent of power, or say you have like a backup power system, cool, your PoE may not come back online just because it's dependent on the house's actual power grid rather than using a generator, for example.
So it's a
I
double-edged
don't know.
sword then, by if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, granted, by now, some when I first heard about these things, I started toying with them. They were pretty cool. They may have figured out how to run it to where if you have like a backup power supply, that it can still run the entire setup just by piggybacking off the power supply for your backup generator or whatever.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah, PCIe 2.0 interface for fast peripherals requires separate M.2 HAT or other adapter. So you just have to get a separate adapter and you can install an M.2 drive on it.
I wonder how long until people start tinkering with hooking up external GPUs through that, sort of like how Bringus does with shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know who I
I
mean
can
by
think of
Bringus, right?
no, I think that's the first time I've heard that name.
I'll have to send you one of his most recent videos because the dude is fucking insane with some of the crazy shit he does with
Hmm.
like hardware. Sorry to cut you off, by the way.
Nice. No, it's fine. I'm just like I'm thinking if I can get an M.2 drive on something like that, the whole the whole oh geez, what was it? There's like a whole idea that I wanted to do for like essentially like a tack helmet where you've got all this you would basically have like night vision plus optics plus data overlay.
Didn't Hacksmith try doing something like that with
Yeah,
a
Hacksmith
Iron
did do
Man helmet?
something like that. Yeah, with the Iron Man helmet, and then they did target recognition with the Master Chief helmet.
That is pretty cool. Like, I really got to catch up with some of his stuff. Like, I stopped watching
Yeah,
like a couple of years ago with the Mandalorian thing, but not because I wanted to stop watching him, because he kind of stopped uploading for a bit. So I was like, okay, I'm out of
yeah. There was a
Hacksmith
bit.
content.
There was a hot second where he actually, I think he actually posted a video saying he was quitting YouTube. Like they were just shutting. I guess they were shutting down shop or something. And then out of nowhere, they come back and start doing videos again.
Maybe just kind of burnt out. It happens.
Probably.
Like it's why I kind of stopped gaming for a little bit because I was just so burnt out. Because like for a while I was just churning out content, churning out content. Nobody showed up. I just was so demoralized. It was like, yeah, I'm fucking burnt out on gaming. Yeah, huh. I can't
Yeah.
fucking do this anymore. Like it. I wonder if it's genuinely something like that.
It probably was, but at the end of the day, like it's also a thing where um what they do is actually they're in a very strange they're in a very strange situation where all their projects are actually crowdfunded. So yeah, I can understand if you're burnt out, but you really can't fucking stop because if your projects are crowdfunded, you are receiving funding to carry out projects, and you have to deliver now. Granted, nobody signed a fucking contract, but that just kind of makes the burden even more heavy on your end because now you're taking in these donations, and you are not obligated to carry through on a project, but it will fucking torpedo your reputation into the Marianas Trench if you don't carry through.
Yep. I
Because then
suppose.
people think that you're just taking donations and running to the bank with it.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing. Because we've already
Yeah.
seen people who fucking do that under the guise of quote unquote charity, only to find out, nope, not charity.
Yeah. Let's see.
I suppose going on into a different subject, what's your opinion on YouTubers such as John Malecki or Tyler Tube?
Who the fuck are these guys?
John Malecki does stuff like on hardware. Like he's got two channels, like his main one called John Malecki, and then one called John Malecki Unscrewed. And like he
Okay,
does,
yeah, John Malecki.
and there's one
I
called
mean,
Tyler Tube. Sorry.
yeah, no, I'm just. Oh, okay, he's doing DIY, I guess.
Yeah, I love shit like that, honestly.
Oh, this is fucking awesome shit. This is like the optical illusion woodworking. Nice.
Yeah, the dude just showed up one day in my Twitter recommended. Oh, yeah, Twitter recommended. Fuck, I wish.
Yeah.
In my
YouTube
YouTube
recommended.
recommended, and was like, okay, let's see. Normally, I'm watching stuff about either video games or computer hardware. This is way out of my norm. Fuck it, let's watch this. Because like I was starting to watch, like when I discovered him, like I was starting to watch stuff like Junkyard Digs and other such car tubers like Tavares, which I don't even know if he does stuff anymore.
Like like the unscrewed. He says, "I bought a pallet of Harbor Freight returns for $1,200." I'm just like, bro, you fucking idiot! Don't do that.
Yeah, fair, but like
It's
it's
Harbor Freight.
yeah, that is the general sentiment, but like it's still cool like to see like tech YouTubers like this that do like instead of, the normal like I've got a computer thing or I've got a TV thing or console or whatever, but instead like proper everyday shit like, you and I use cuz like I
Yeah,
have carpentry experience whether I want to or not. Like I'm at this point able to tell what's a good tool and what's a piece of shit. So like YouTubers like
oh yeah,
John Malecki who and ones like that who like pick up the cheap tools and see like, okay, these are some of the worst rated tools. Let's see how they are, and like to see that sometimes they aren't actually pieces of shit. Like that, stuff like that is really cool to me because like it's nice to see like cheap stuff that's actually decent rather than how it usually is, where it's cheap stuff that's shit.
yeah, yeah. That reminds me of. Well, let me see if I can find his. So there's a YouTuber that I haven't watched his stuff in a while. That's just because I haven't had time to. I haven't actually thought of looking him up. It's a channel called This Old Tony.
That sounds
I don't.
familiar.
I don't know if they've uploaded. Oh, they uploaded 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they did a video on Arbor Press, and I guess they do a bit of everything because it's all machine shop and welding. Um, and he just does a lot of like do it yourself home projects if you're someone that has like their own lathe and whatnot.
Stuff like that is incredibly cool to me. Like I love seeing shit like this.
Oh yeah. There was one where he did like a custom built ring roller, and then he's like, there's like a whole skit where where he's kind of like trying to get some advice on something he fucked up on, and then the advice he receives is from this even older guy that's older than him, and this dude's pretty old. He's like, did you even read the specs before you started machining? He's going under the explanation of what the heck went wrong, and then the dude the talking head that's giving him advice. You changed the specs on an engineering sheet. You jackass! And you just see him closing the door to the office. To like, I don't want to face him right now. He's pissed.
Yep. That's
And
yeah.
I'm just like the whole time I'm thinking, yeah, I would be yelling at you too like that because you don't just go off the script.
S-
It always ends badly.
Speaking of YouTubers in the DIY space, what's your opinion on Torque Test Channel?
Let me look that one up.
Because he's been doing a lot lately on impact drivers.
See, and as an owner of an impact driver,
I would put out for an impact
Ooh.
driver right now. Like I've got so many
Nikita came out with something
projects.
new. Okay,
Like
and they're testing it.
I've got so many things like I gotta fix. Like I don't know if I could really show it. Ah, fuck it, I can. Like you, I'm not sure if you can see on stream right now, but you
I
see
can see it.
these uprights.
Yeah, your support choice.
Yeah, we had to redo those ourselves, and like some of
Right.
these need to be like re-screwed. So, like if I could get an impact driver, I could actually properly fix this shit. Cause like
Yeah, as an impact driver, and get yourself a T25 with the appropriate screws to run them in.
yeah, but because like some of this, like I had to just use like a cheap Ryobi like regular electric screwdriver
Oof.
or a
I
Milwaukee.
feel your pain. I feel your pain, my friend.
Yeah, like I gotta redo that. I gotta fucking like find the screws, redo the flooring here, like get that actually properly done in. Like if I can get an impact driver, like I like I gotta kind of redo some of these uprights. And if I can get like another 2x3, like I gotta actually
Yeah.
like
I was helping my brother-in-law the other day, helping him because he ended up getting a brand new hot tub for his birthday,
okay.
and he no less than a week later, I meet up with him, and he's like, "Hey, so I'm building a hot tub house for this thing.
Hot tub
Fast forward,
house?
yeah, a bathhouse is basically what
Okay.
so he'll talk backwards, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what you're doing. Okay, let me go find everything you need real quick. Meet up with him Saturday. No, it was Sunday afternoon, and I'm just hearing him going at it with his impact. I come over and I'm like, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm getting the foundation started for this thing. I'm already laying everything out. I'm looking, and I was like, all right, cool. This will go faster if I help you out. Hand me the impact. You get on the table saw, and we'll just keep hacking and drilling. And he's like, aren't you still recovering? I'm like, don't tell nobody. It's like the sooner we get this done, the sooner you can go inside. It's raining out here, man. So just start just sending it as like he's going ahead and chopping everything to size, and I'm going ahead and like with my niece's help, lining up, getting all the screws drilled in, getting everything set up, and then boom, done. Cool. It's raining. Let's go inside. I'm only hanging out here for like 15 more minutes before we gotta go.
That's yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I'm so glad we were using impacts because if this had been like a normal drill, we'd have burned out the drill by now.
Like
Because every
I would fucking put out for an impact driver, man. There were so many
Yeah.
projects we've done over the years. I say we, but like mostly I'm just holding the tool. Like I say holding the tools, but like holding the shit into
Oh shit! Is that
place.
lightning?
Lathing?
I said lightning.
Oh, what here?
Yeah, no, I think it's out of my window. I just heard like a loud rolling noise.
Yeah, I think it was on your thing.
Holy shit! I heard we were supposed to get stable weather tomorrow, not a storm.
We're supposed to get gray weather, and then on Wednesday, like I said, 6 inches of snow, which is,
Nice.
fun.
I think I'd take your snow off of your hands just to have a snow day.
Yeah. But like going back to the thing, like there are so many projects we've done over the years that I've gotten injured during, which that's a whole different thing. Like I have
Right.
opinions on that. I've bitched and moaned enough about it on my own time. It's like, yeah, fucking whatever at this point. But like projects that have fallen apart for the most part because we don't have a single fucking impact driver. And it's like, dude, like it's one of the reasons why I hope I can actually get an impact driver. Like I might see if I can find a cheap-ish one for my birthday and just redo the uprights here because they exist, but like, yeah,
Yeah. That work's probably not going to hold up as well as you'd want it to under more weather conditions.
let me just put it this way. Like like you can't see these moving, but like whenever there's a bad windstorm happening, like you can feel this whole camper shaking.
That's not that's not good. You shouldn't be able to feel that.
Yeah, I mean, granted, this thing's a little bit higher than it should be, or maybe like I had it about as evened out as I could, but like this thing's like not on blocks, which okay, whatever. Like I got to work on kind of shoring up the sides too. Probably gonna have to pick up some OSB this year. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of shit we got ahead of us. Like, because if I can get an impact driver, I'm hoping to for my birthday, but that's September. That's a while from now.
Yeah.
Like I gotta redo most, if not all, of this upright, and if I can get like another like 2 by, I'm gonna come re- redo a couple of these uprights because some of these the cats have just kind of turned into toothpicks, or let's say turned toothpicks. Like they're not that bad yet, but they could use
Right.
another 2 by. Because I,
Yeah, they could use some extra support.
yeah, like I should go 2 by 3s because those are cheaper. I know it's not the best way to do it, but like if that's what you can afford, that's what you use. So like if I can get another couple of those, I'm gonna come in, redo some of these uprights, reinforce a couple because yeah, no, these things are dubious as fuck. And I say this
Yeah.
like after having built some shit that I know is dubious as fuck, like uh, my projector thing over there. Like you see that duct tape thing? Like I got
Yeah, I see it.
like there's a projector there, and like there's a shelf here that's made out of just some random like bullshit scrap wood that I
But it
just
works.
yeah, exactly. Like, let me just put it this way: from outside of the camper, like you can see some of the screws sticking out from where it was, because apparently once you get past the support here, there's no
Yeah.
2 bys at all. So I had to jury rig a couple of planks just to stretch far enough to get my projector on. And that was just like
Right.
before I even got the ones to come out the length it needed to actually have the projector on top. And yeah, even now, like that thing is dubious as hell, but it's stable. Granted, I think half the quarters of that's the duct tape and the staples, but don't tell anyone.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Uh I was it's it's a whole thing.
Oh yeah. All I'm saying is,
Dude, Milwaukee has what the fuck?
all right, yeah. Let me just get a little
I'm
sheet of
trying. What
duct
the
tape.
fuck? Is that a motorized ratchet?
Wouldn't surprise me.
What the fuck? When did this? I could have used stuff like this when I was on my. Oh wait, but these are electric. They would. I could have used tools like this on my last construction gig.
That good?
Apparently,
I mean,
they're
like
battery powered though, so I would have probably caught hell for using them because they usually like the people I worked with got all uppity if it wasn't pneumatically powered.
that's fair. Like my Milwaukee tool, like that's what I used when I was screwing holes in the vacuum that time. Not your vacuum. Sorry, the microwave that time I was stoned trying to make a projector shelf. Now,
Yeah.
Now, like, obviously it didn't work, but it did screw holes through the back. But unfortunately, where there's no supports, that I just use it as a tool shelf minus the door.
Yeah.
It's like I got,
My my
yeah.
only my only gripe with the air impact tooling is that I've seen and I've had that shit explode on me.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and it's never a fun time when it does happen.
Is it ever a fun time having tools explode?
You never really expect that it's supposed to happen.
I mean, once you've had a lawnmower set itself on fire and like a weed whacker do the same, plus one shoot half the gears out of the engine, you're just like, yeah, what fucking ever at this point, man.
Oh, I've seen a weed. I've actually had a weed whacker roll coal on me before. That was interesting.
Are you talking like a plug-in electric like I am? Or are you talking?
No, a gas weed whacker.
Okay, because like I've never had that issue with gas weed whackers. Said that one just kind of gave up the ghost and like just shot out a couple of its gears, which was interesting. Like tried getting that fixed, it was fucked. Like that one was a pain in the ass, but like that wasn't as bad as the what's the fucking Walmart brand for its power tools? Heart.
uh,
There it is. Yeah. It
Heart. Yeah, it's heart.
like I had a weed whacker just like have a blowout from them. So like there I was kind of fucked because I couldn't do any weed whacking that year, which sucked.
Yeah.
And then that year, thankfully the lawnmower worked, so I did shit that way. But then the next year, last year, like I said, the damn weed whacker caught on fire, dude.
Yikes.
Yeah, there I was cutting what was admittedly a little bit thicker grass than was wise, but we finally had a day of no rain, so there I was trying to get shit done. And then just like sputtered, and then heavy smoke, and then I saw fire. It's like, oh shit, and
Uh,
cut myself out of there as quick as I could. Thankfully, the
that
weed whacker was
is
fine.
fucking wild.
Yeah, and like I said, I had one like plug-in electric weed whacker. Like I had the cord ran from about the shed to the like where I was currently weed whacking at the time, which was the little bench we had right next to the like fence. And then the fucking thing, I smelled kind of a sweet, sickly smell. Thought nothing of it. Went back to weed whacking. Then the thing stopped, and I looked, and the fucking thing was pouring out some really thick black smoke. And I was like, oh shit. So I unplugged it as fast as I could. Thankfully, the cords and the electrics were fine, but like, the fucking weed whacker set on fire, man. Like, I have shit luck with lawn maintenance tools.
Yeah. See, but the interesting thing with those is, so I had a coworker who, just because he doesn't trust the manufacturing uh for a lot of this equipment, he will take the shit apart, put it back together himself, and he will just lubricate it to hell and back because he wants to guarantee that there is no possible way that this thing ends up overheating because the parts weren't lubricated.
I'm probably just gonna say fuck it and break out Grandpa's scythe this year because at least that,
Yeah.
like, say whatever you will, but the only point of failure is the human point of failure with one of those.
Yeah.
Because this fucker's handmade, has a decent blade, and a pretty good handle. Like, the only way I fuck up is if I let go and, like, lose that either to the shed door or, like, accidentally take my leg with the grass.
And shing! Oh, damn! I'm down a knee.
Yup. And at that point, if that's what happens, well, fuck.
Guess I'm not fit for the colonial life.
Yeah, really.
Oops. Let me reboot the server real quick. Get us back to modern times.
Yeah, really. Like I have a riding lawnmower, but I can't fucking do that. Like I get like I tried, but like I got really bad fucking anxiety. Like I was shaking like hell and everything after it. Like I
Yeah.
and where I'm like that with that, I'm not gonna try for my driver's license or any of that.
Huh.
Cause like if that's something I can't do with something rather contained and like calm, like I'm kind of careful like a
Yeah.
riding
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
lawnmower.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
trust myself in something like even a pickup or any of that.
I hear you. For me, I think it's what was it? I still have to get the hang of it, but it's the zero turn lawnmowers. That's a whole other set of controls that I've never used before.
Okay.
Because that doesn't have gas pedals. That doesn't have steering wheels. Your
Oh, it's one of
controls are
those ones with the handles like this, right?
the yeah, the levers.
Yeah, I've seen those, and more power to you, but I don't
I'm like,
know.
I've seen my brother-in-law behind the wheel of those things, and he is whipping donuts in those, and he makes it look effortless. And I'm over here like, that dude's also going like fucking 25 miles an hour. I didn't even know you could push to go that fast, but okay.
That is, yeah. So
It's awesome. I'm just like, I need more trigger time.
yeah, like that's something that takes like a lot of experience with one of those.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Hey, what else did you want to talk about? So we went from tools to YouTube. Oh, there is one thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can search it up real quick. Because speaking of YouTube,
Hey, wasn't there like a YouTuber who just lost their channel? Like first it got hacked, and then YouTube decided to retroactively ban the YouTuber.
um, I don't know anything about that.
Like it
You might
was
need to fill
all
me in
over the
on it.
feed. Let me look through my reposts real quick. Uh, hold on. All right, let me just scroll all the way down. So I was semi-active today on Twitter.
I haven't been active the last 5 days or so. I've
Uh,
just been vibing.
more. That's honestly probably the best way to go.
It's like I loaded in, I think Friday morning before I had to do everything. I just loaded in and then I realized, oh, it's a war zone in there. Let me stay out of it real quick. I don't need this today.
I just sent you probably my favorite shit post I did today.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you
I
tap on the
need
post, like you
website.
can see the whole friggin' thing.
Is this on Discord? Yeah, it is.
All right. Ah, here we go. Uh, and I'll send this to you in Twitter, and then see if there's anything new from that.
That's the case. Let me get on
Oh, yep, the person got the channel but
the
back.
world's friendliest website.
Oh yeah, world's friendly. um, nah, I'm pretty sure I still agree with the PvP server of the internet. Like if the feed, like here's what I find like Twitter, like not just me, but like a lot of people find like are the three potential feeds of Twitter: gore, porn, and death. That's it.
uh, I think the I opened up the first thing I got was uh I think someone managed to post a live leak.
Dude, that happens all the
Uh
fucking time. Like there was a guy called Poe who used to retweet that shit all the time. Even Nerva does at times.
yeah,
But yeah, I
and
guess
it
the
says it was a
sorry,
huh?
sorry, you
Go ahead,
first.
go ahead.
Like
No, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
apparently the person did get their channel back, but I mean, still, like that's, ah man, just grinds my gears that YouTube's real shitty about that about shit. You know, like live leak shit's extremely common on Twitter, dude.
So yeah, it was. I ended up getting was I think the first thing I saw was a live leak. Second thing I saw was um, what was it? I think what was it? People complaining about video games again, and then more of the GamerGate shit.
Yeah, I'm like I know I kind of want to cover more on that shit, but like at the same time, it's like okay, it's
I
just
wanted
like
to so bad, and I'm just like, Nah, it's
it's
not worth it." And
it's just
then
like all fucking rehashes of shit I've already talked about. Like
now
people are
the
bitching about
one,
Stellar Blade still, which
yeah, the one thing I did want to talk about was the fact that Black Girl Gamers decided to start sending out cease and desists,
I
and
hadn't been aware of that, but like I
completely
sorry.
they got completely obliterated by legal mindset because as soon as they started threatening legal action, legal mindset went ahead and went like, okay, seeing the entire case as it is right now with what we know, you guys actually snitched on yourselves. There is no way this is actually going to be a case that you can move forward with. And chances are you've now just opened yourselves up to countersuits, or even worse, class action lawsuit, because you yourself have violated the Equal Employment Opportunity Act.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Like that's still
Yeah,
insane to me. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
And it's just like all this because they were like they had like maybe 15 degrees of separation from the SBI shit.
I'd say like at most 2 degrees separation because it's looped back and it looped back
Yeah,
almost
yeah, yeah.
immediately.
But they were not in anybody's crosshairs. Then they said that they're threatening legal action because of misinformation from an article. Everybody went to go look at the article, and then everyone realized this article is actually real.
Hmm.
And now all of a sudden, these dudes get pulled into the crosshairs, and it's like none of this would have happened if you just shut your mouth.
Why would they do that? That would be too much like intelligent thought out of the DEI
Yeah,
crowd. Let's not get too crazy here.
this whole year, every shit show since the start of this year has just been a lesson in what happens when you just keep blabbing.
It's almost enough
Like,
to drive me back to drinking. This is just shitty and insane.
yeah, it's like none of the shit that we're talking about throughout this entire year would have happened if people just shut their mouths and not said nothing.
They say silence is a virtue, but I have yet to meet a virtuous man anymore, it seems like this year.
Yeah, what do you think? I got off the internet though for like a couple days. I'm like, yeah, I need a break. Fuck this.
It's understandable, man. Between that and then your data hotspot running out of data, it's understandable you
Yeah,
got off the internet, dude. Holy shit.
yeah. The Lord went, shut the fuck up and get off the internet, jackass. You don't need this shit.
Yeah, like
Um,
I really need to kind of detox myself, but like at
yeah,
the same
and
time streaming.
yeah, and unfortunately, I can't drink now.
Okay, what happened?
Oh no 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 no. So whenever you get teeth removed,
Oh, right,
um,
for your medicine because of the post. Yeah, never mind.
yeah, post recovery, even without meds, say you decided to tough it out without meds, the recovery time requires that you do not smoke or drink, because if you do, you end up getting something called a dry socket, because as you're recovering, the stitches are holding everything together, but what really glues it all shut is the blood clot that's supposed to naturally happen there. The drinking or smoking, for example, require the drinking, if you're drinking a strong enough alcohol, will just burn all that shit out. It'll cook out the blood clot, and that just be rendered useless. And if it gets into the actual cavity itself, it renders that useless as well.
Yeah, and that at that point, like, if you're
Yeah,
drinking alcohol, like, anyways, post thing,
yeah,
why?
exactly. And then if you smoke, you're also it's the same deal. You're cooking out the blood clot, and now you're just exposing a wound to something it shouldn't be exposed to, and then it results in something called a dry socket, which I'm told is very fucking painful.
I've heard it is extremely painful. Yeah,
Yeah, so instead of the whole sealing itself and just kind of shutting itself together, it just stays open, and that's just it.
yeah, no, fuck that. Like,
Yeah,
granted, I'm
it,
against smoking anyways, but that's mostly because I have an allergy to tobacco smoke.
right.
But like, that's just one of those things. Like, especially when it comes to shit like dry sockets, like this is one of those reasons why, like, I understand people not wanting to take the medicine, but like, at least follow some of the post-surgery recommendations, like don't do this, that, or this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. And yeah, it's that's just one of the reasons why like I smoke at my own home, but I do not smoke anywhere else, just because it's out of respect for uh it's just a courteous thing to do, because you don't know who the heck's asthmatic, who the heck has like an allergy or something.
It's a shame too about the allergy to tobacco smokes. Like I do, Like I like the smell of tobacco smoke, but like I can't do it because it'll fuck up my breathing and cause a couple other things.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same with my wife, where it's like I can't smoke around her because her asthma will start acting up.
I almost wonder if that's if I have some like if that's the reason why I have the sensitivity to tobacco smoke. Because from the mother side of the family, there is a like asthma.
Yeah,
So like I wonder if that's where my sensitivity to tobacco smoke comes from.
could be, and you never really know. It's just it's the role that you got.
Yep, that's the hand I got. Might as well, I guess, work with it.
Yeah. What the hell?
What's going on?
No, I'm just looking at. I refreshed my feed, and it's just people arguing.
People arguing on never. What are you talking about? That
Yeah,
never happens.
and,
Twitter is the most family-friendly website to ever happen.
yeah, and it's what was it? Two rules. It's an account named Two Rules of War. That's like, for this level of disrespect. Article 89. If you can't keep it professional, don't engage in its Batman sniffing out of a fart jar.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but then I decided let me follow up the thread to see what the heck caused this, and I was just like, and I'm only 3 posts up the thread, and I don't care anymore because it's just people arguing.
That's
Lovely.
fair.
Eh. Oh man. Let's see. People in New York City and all across Manhattan are apparently uh people are fishing mail out of mailboxes. That's a felony. Last I checked.
Yeah, and the last I knew, the U.S. Postal Service has an active police force. So, like, if you fuck with mail, you're going to learn real quickly that that was not a wise option. Because, like I said, it has its own fucking law enforcement agency, and we're not talking like police, like just like your regular police. We're talking like full-on riot gear and whatnot. Like whereas a government agency, like they're real, like they get real tetchy about that shit.
And apparently Greg Miller thought he was funny. I don't know what's his whole deal. He hates PC in general. I don't know. He did a whole April Fools about how he was building a PC and then went psych. Pretengo responds with, "Go back to building Planet Island in Animal Crossing."
Okay, who's
Oh damn!
Greg Miller?
I have no clue. Let
Okay.
me see. Jeez, man, that doesn't sound like thunder. That sounds like someone's actually
I suppose be safe. Don't get
very aggressive rolling thunder.
yeah.
Be like, Part of me is like, okay, could be thunder or possible artillery strike.
All I'm saying is don't get shelled, man.
I was just like, It's like, what else is new? It's like I spent like a stint on an army base once and got woken up to Reviel with cannons going off. I thought the whole place was actually getting shelled, and of course it had been my first time on an army base, and my brother-in-law was like, "You fucking city kid, go back to bed." I'm just like, "What the fuck would happen?" 2 hours later. So I heard you got spooked by the morning cannons. I'm like, the what?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the whole deal. It's like they raise the flag and everything to start the morning at like 5:45, so that by 6 in the morning it's official. No, sorry, take that back. 4:45, so that by 5 in the morning the day has officially started.
Okay.
And but usually when they do that, they're also firing off cannons the whole time the start of the day is announced. And they've also got like a whole like the entire base PA system is playing Reviel, and it's a whole deal. It was freaking awesome once I got used to it.
It sounds it.
Yeah, but that first day, hearing the cannon shots going off, I fucking woke up and was running. I thought the whole place was under attack, and it's like, no, no, calm your ass down. This isn't Los Angeles.
Lordy, that fucking Los Angeles, man.
Took me to Los Angeles, couldn't take Los Angeles out of me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least some of it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Let's see. Trying to read through other stuff. Okay, it's just more random. Okay, hold on.
I wonder
Let's see.
what's on
What's
my Twitter feed today if I open it. I mean, it's 12:49
see. Okay,
a.m.
what kind of game over Greggy? The dude's posing as if he's Ghostbusters with the whole. Oh, he's even got the Ecto 4 and whatnot,
Oh, nice.
and the suit and whatnot. Let's see. Born to eat chicken wings and play video games.
Okay, so this is just someone posting a rather NSFW pic for April Fools. I mean, apparently it's like, person for April Fool says, I love Scrappy Doo and I don't have big naturals, and then post the NSFW pic. I hate Scrappy Doo, like on a post-it note on right breast. Which, oh, okay, I guess? Like, what the hell do you say to that?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
That's just one of those. Oh, okay, cool. Keep it moving. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay, this is just food posting. And this is just kielbasa chopped up into pieces with
Man,
sauerkraut,
just
onions,
once
and
I'd like
bacon.
to.
Looks
Just
good.
once, I'd like to get a major order that doesn't involve going to Malevelon Creek. For fuck's sake.
Actually, Malevelon Creek has finally been liberated.
Yeah, it has, but I just like,
Yeah.
I'm just tired of having to deal with Space Vietnam.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
traumatized.
you don't have to deal with it anymore because it's been liberated, man.
Yeah, I actually had a bit of a panic moment because I think was it March 29th. Apparently, someone posted on the internet that there was an emergency alert for Hessen or Hessig, and it's a terminid planet undergoing an automaton invasion.
Oh, damn.
I don't know if it actually happened because I didn't get on that day,
Ouch.
but I immediately felt sorry for anyone if that was actually for anyone that was playing that day if that was actually true because that mean everybody had to drop what they were doing and immediately fly over to Hessig and fight off the automatons. It's bad enough that you got to deal with the Terminids, but now you got the automatons, and they're probably not picking fights with the Terminids.
Yeah,
They're
it's
probably
your.
going to work together to kick your ass.
Exactly, like you're fucked from both directions.
Yeah. It's like, at least we can set the Terminids on fire. Those damn bots don't give a crap what you do. Luckily, they came out with the Quasar cannon, so that's a nice thing.
All I'm saying is it needs more Fortunate Son.
Needs more Fortunate Son, needs more Black Sabbath paranoia.
Oh, yeah. Either that or failing that, War Pigs.
Ooh, I actually have to listen to War Pigs. It's been a while.
Did you see that video that came out a couple years ago, War Pigs, but every lyric is an AI generated image?
No, actually.
It was a really friggin' good video. I'll have to see if I can find it and I'll send it to you in DMs real quick. Because it was really friggin' good. War Pigs, but every lyric is AI generated. Let's see. Here we go. Oh. Anything else you wanted to talk about, by the way?
Well, let me take a quick look at that message you sent me. Ah, okay, yeah. I'll have to take a look at that once we're done.
I thought it was really friggin' cool.
Um, nothing. Just staying away from this from the SBI shit. Nothing too major. Um, oh,
Okay.
there's a okay. I wasn't expecting to see. I wasn't expecting to see an image of the super lift from my. Okay, you know what? This is considering that this is a short. I'm going to open this and I'm going to post the link and let's see because this is public, so this means I can talk about this. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you get to see behind the scenes of what I used to be part of.
No problem. I will be right back. I have to turn on my heater because we're down to 52 degrees, and it's starting to get a
Alrighty.
little nippy sitting here.
Yep. Do what you gotta.
All right, I'm back.
All right. So if you take a look at that at the thumbnail, that big old some bitch that's carrying that entire ship piece, that is that rusted piece down there is actually a brand new aircraft carrier. They just have to clean it up.
Okay.
Yeah, but that giant fucking thing that's carrying it, we actually we actually just like when I started working, they had just brought that online and officially started using it because it had undergone 5 years of testing.
Okay.
There was a smaller one that was called the Super Lift that would be right. It would fit right underneath it. That big blue one is called the sorry, the green one that would fit right underneath is called the Super Lift. That blue one with the whole control tower up above is called the Mega Lift.
Okay.
No, sorry, the Super Lift. Okay, my fucking brain is shortening out over here.
It
But yeah,
happens, bro.
so
It's
the
pretty
blue one is
late.
the Super Lift. This thing is so freaking tall. When all its lights are online, you can actually see it from the other fucking side of the river
Damn.
where the naval yard is across the way. And this is in this is on the exact on the northern end of the river.
Okay.
But if it's nighttime and it's clear and you're standing on the exact opposite side of the river on the docks and you see towards it, you will be able to spot that thing because it's so dang bright
It
when all its staging lights are online.
that is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And they brought this thing in specifically to be able to lift ship pieces of that size so they can just move more stuff and get things done quicker.
That is awesome.
Ah, it is a whole freaking thing, and it's it's amazing because it's just literally a team of guys goes in. If a new ship is brought in for overhaul, a team of guys comes in, and if they decide, okay, we're gonna make the observation tower taller, they'll hook up this thing overhead to the observation tower of the ship in question. And when the team gets the go ahead, they just start arcing out everything on the bottom. Once they've cut out all the wires and power lines and whatnot, and that thing is now offline and dead, and nothing can possibly go wrong. They'll just take an arc gouger and slice the ever loving crap out of it, and then it just pop comes right off like it was never connected in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't hear any creaking or any cracking or nothing. It's just up she goes.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's a marvel of engineering, and the whole thing moves like a train, basically.
I wouldn't mind a couple of
It,
those then, huh?
yeah, that's a lot of money. I think we sold. I think the smaller one that we had, we sold it to some Swedish company for like. Uh, well, I think we sold it to them for like a little over a quarter of a million.
Damn.
Yeah, and we gave it to them in pieces. So when that thing went back to Sweden, they had to basically have their own welding team figure out where the heck it's going and then reassemble it piece by piece and then weld everything back together.
That's insane.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, it is fucking wild, and that was I wasn't the welder guy. I was a dude that was just connecting pipe. I work in the warehouse next to where that thing is set up. Like I am right next door to the action, and if a bay door was open, I could just stare outside and be like, "Oh, they're lifting something today."
Yeah, that's okay. That is impressive. Just listening to it the way you describe it, that is a seriously impressive piece of engineering.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, by the way. Just
I just
noticed.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I just like how like I'm watching the short right now. It's like, oh yeah, people would freak out over the rust. It's like it's not that big a deal. We could just take a wire wheel to that and it'll be clean. It's just gonna You're just gonna be on a bunch of catwalks, just shaving off the couple millimeters that actually got iron oxide on them because unfortunately, seawater fucks shit up.
I am extremely well aware of that, considering how basically worthless the used car market is around here, because everything's so rusted out because of this, just the sea air, even.
Yep.
Because like
Yep.
I'm
And
like
then
a couple minutes off the coast. Like I could walk to the ocean
oh
right
yeah, that's
now.
even worse.
Yeah,
Yeah. All I've got to deal with is the Potomac to the north if I decide to go up, or the York River to the south, and
that.
then everything else is the Chesapeake Bay, and just all of that can fuck things up for everyone.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I'm just a couple minutes off from the ocean. Like when we're at high tide, especially where we've had so much rain lately, it's
Uh-huh.
almost like to the road now. Like we've gotten that much rain.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine that told me that at one point, because he lives farther up north, he tells me, yeah, you should have seen. He's like, we actually didn't have to worry about dinner today because the high tide rolled in, and by the time things calmed down, all the freaking crawfish were pulled out of the mud.
Nothing wrong with that, I suppose. Good
Yeah, so
eats.
they just boiled a bunch of crawfish and had that for dinner.
Thankfully, like even though I am just a couple minutes walk from the ocean, the way the land is here, like when we get high tide, like it doesn't come up that close to us. But
Yeah, that's actually a good thing because I've seen houses where like was it some of the houses are right next to the water, so what they end up doing is they'll have the entire houses actually lifted off the ground. So in case of a flood, they're not under or they're not in risk of flooding. It's just gonna take a while for them to be able to get out of their home because of the height that they're at.
okay,
Chances are the floodwaters would have taken out their stairs if they're not built right.
that would suck.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole function.
Sounds
But
incredibly dysfunctional, to use a pun.
yeah, I was gonna say funny. Uh, I was gonna say it's quite all right once you figured out that the added height will just save you from having to worry about your house flooding and losing everything. Sure, you lost your stairs, but if you prepped correctly, you should be fine.
Yeah, because like all else fails, like I know this kind of sounds like a meme, but like have a rope ladder handy. Like sure, it's not ideal, but if your stairs go out, you got a temporary backup solution until you can do things again, right?
Yeah,
Like I know, granted, like if you're older, that's not exactly feasible, but I mean, shit, it's an option.
yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Oh, here's one thing I actually wouldn't mind talking about before we finish off. So, you know how with like it's been kind of difficult to find some good stuff to watch lately. because it seems like everything coming out the pipeline, people don't know what they're doing or they're trying to push for shit. And
Mhm.
like with Stellar Blade, people complaining and whatnot. Someone's always complaining about either the developers don't know what they're doing, or the story writers don't know what they're doing, or the screenwriters don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
It makes me wonder, why isn't there more of a shout out to like the independent artists or independent studios, or like in the case of Astartes, I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope.
This is someone who, let me find his channel real quick. Trying to find the actual channel that was the actual channel that created Astartes.
Like, I mean, if we're talking like semi like independent kind of shit, like Trauma.
Yeah, like I'll send this to you real quick so you can watch it.
Like I know a lot of people meme on Trauma, and understandable considering some of the low quality stuff has been put out. But like they're independent, like a lot of their shit. Like say what you will, but that's still a viable alternative to like your modern like sludge.
Yeah. So the if you check out the link I sent you,
Yep, opening up my
it's
phone right now.
yeah, it's that is a fan. This is 5 episodes, all fan made animations, and the show is called Astartes.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's all this is Warhammer 40K. I forget who from whose perspective this is taking place, but it goes hard, man.
sounds like it.
Like I think the first episode is them, they're loading in and are basically being jettisoned from their warship into an enemy warship, and proceed to just start like decimating everybody on board the enemy warship before they can do, essentially it's like they're purging heretics.
So wait, who did it
That's
first then? Like dropping out of the ships? Was it Warhammer or Halo?
uh Warhammer, because Warhammer 40K is actually older than Halo.
Okay, but like which one actually depicted them going out of ships first? Like was it Halo or was it Warhammer?
In the books it would have been in the books it would have been Warhammer. Let me
Okay.
see real quick.
Like I'm not trying to be like oh fuck Warhammer did that or like contrarian or any of that. Like I'm just genuinely curious.
Like chronologically speaking, it would have been Warhammer first, considering their whole stories of the 41st millennium started. Hold on,
Ouch.
September 1987. The first edition rulebook was published then,
Okay.
and then yeah. So I think the first depiction would have happened around then, because it also started with a thing called Rogue Trader.
Rogue Trader, like is that what you said? Rogue Trader?
Yeah, Rogue Trader,
Okay, so what?
like Rogue, Rogue.
Okay, no problem. I was just
It
making sure I'd
basically
heard
your
you correctly,
merchants.
because like there is the Rogue Trader game out now. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
S- Speaking of independent media, I kind of miss like the old indie scene that used to be pretty strong on YouTube. Because like there we had indie horror, we had indie action, we had like independent music, which I mean is still kind of a thing, but not really, considering how much that gets like tied up with crime rings and whatnot. And then
Right.
there's like your like independent sci-fi stuff. Like there used to be like a huge independent scene on YouTube, and then it just kind of disappeared under the wave of just slop. And it's a shame. Like there's still some, like we got a surge with stuff like analog horror and whatnot, but like it doesn't feel the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so here we go. This is the Lexicanum. It's like a week the Warhammer 40K wiki, and it shows the Space Marines using drop pods. It says since the time of the Great Crusade, and since this whole game started like 1987. Um, I'm just trying to see.
I may have to grab a propane tank and throw it into my heater. It's just not warming up in here.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Sources: Imperial Armor Volume 2, Space Marines and Forces of the Inquisition. So this is they actually referenced books that were released for Warhammer 40K.
Okay.
And oh, this is gonna get close. Let's see. Imperial Armor Volume 2, Space Marines and Forces of the Inquisition, December 2004.
So it
Hold on.
they did it about the same time then. I'd say.
Let's see, because it would be Halo 2 is when they did the first drop pod, right? Or was it Halo 1?
I think Halo 1 technically with escape pods, but that was escape pods, not drop pods. When was Halo 2 released? So Halo 2 would be November 9th, 2004, for at least for the PAL release date.
Uh, let's see, single occupant XO atmospheric insertion vehicle. Okay, so let's see this real quick. Pulling up the Wikipedia for Halo. Um, let's see.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just a little tired.
Particular. Come on, smaller profiles operated by. Okay, so they're often operated by the Marines, orbital drop shock troopers, and used by the Hellbringer Corps. So it's safe to say that Halo probably did it first.
Okay. I'm actually kind
Yeah,
of
actually,
surprised.
I might.
Huh.
Yeah,
I'm
we might actually have to give this to Halo.
I'm actually genuinely surprised by that. I figured it would have been around the same time.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see sources: Halo, the essential visual guide. Let's see, when was this published? Publication date July 4, 2011.
Okay, so then Warhammer.
Okay, wait a
Uh,
minute.
even though wait, when was Halo 3 ODST released?
I'm actually seeing all the
When
other
was
stuff
Halo
that they've
3
got because they've
ODST
got.
released? So like September 22nd, 2009 was when ODST was released.
And here we go. Bungie.net Halo 3 ODST Field Guide. Just trying to now I'm like trying to see what the earliest record is. And of course, because Bungie redid their fucking jeez.
I have opinions on
Congratulations.
Bungie.
They that link doesn't work because as it goes to Bungie.net, that page no longer exists.
Any chance that
It just
would
shows me
work
Destiny 2.
like on the Wayback Machine?
Uh, probably would work on Wayback Machine if you searched. All right, so Halo Wars,
That was like
uh,
2013 or 14.
2009. Oh, here we go. Halo Wars 2, Halo Fireteam Raven. Oh, okay, 2006, Books of Onyx, or Ghosts of Onyx. And this dang ad is not letting me see what I need to see. All right, 2018. Let's see. Halo Legends is a anime styled short series.
Oh, this one completely slipped it by my radar. I didn't know that thing existed. Interesting.
Yeah. Halo Contact Harvest was 2007. Halo the Cole Protocol 2008. There's a 2009 edition of the Halo Encyclopedia that includes the drop pod. Halo 3 ODST was 2009. Halo Wars 2, 2017. Halo Waypoint. It's defunct, but there is an archive.org page for it.
Okay. Let's see if I can find
Wow,
anything.
that's interesting.
What's that?
Uh, let's see. I guess it might be that Warhammer did it first because I'm looking through all of this, all of the. Okay, there it is. U.S. 2004, and then we look at the Imperial stuff. December 2004. Yeah. Oh well, a month later, Halo 2 did it, and then a month later, Warhammer does it.
Okay.
Let me look at Warhammer's sources real quick just to make sure. Let's
Interesting.
see. No, Imperial Armor Update 2002. There you go.
Okay, so yeah, Warhammer did it first then. Okay.
Yeah, released 2002. So that's the thing. Their sources aren't chronologically listed, so now I have to actually go in and look.
See, that's something that's
I
kind of
have to.
annoying. Like, they should chronologically list these things.
It would make things so much easier. Although I guess whoever wrote the Warhammer wiki did, because I'm looking through it and it's just, yeah, it's climbing up. It's going from 2002 and now it's just going up.
Okay.
Yeah. The Imperial Armor Apocalypse 2007. Yep, we were at 2005 and now we're just climbing. 2015, 2016, 2016. Yeah, the writer of the page got smart and went, yeah, let me go ahead and actually put these together chronologically.
Makes
Citadel
sense.
Journal. Oh, 2002. Okay.
Ouch.
Imperial Armor Volume 2, Second Edition, War Machines of the Adeptus Astartes. 2013. Okay.
Okay, so anywhere from like the early 2000s to then.
Yeah, so 2002 is the earliest iteration that these guys use drop pods.
So then, yeah, Warhammer did it first. Okay.
Yeah. At this point I'm just oh yeah, let me add some insult to injury on that statement.
Okay.
Uh Games Workshop, White Dwarf actually had the use of drop pods January of 1991.
Oh, damn, that's actually pretty impressive. Like, I love hearing shit about sci-fi. Like, I could do a whole episode on science fiction one of these days.
Yeah,
That would be a good time, honestly. Like, cause
uh,
there's good shit.
it's funny. Under the category of heavy metal, it's Titans.
Bruh.
with the Cockney accent, heavy metal.
Is it actually the Cockney accent, or is it just
Yeah,
friggin' orcs?
this is not orcs. This is like everybody, the orcs, the everyone has a British accent in this. Doesn't matter if you're a dwarf, if you're an orc, if you're Tau, if you're Chaos Marine, Space Marine, uh, even if you're the Eldari, doesn't matter. Everybody has a British accent.
I can't believe the fucking tea drinkers conquered the universe.
Yeah, they actually won. Everybody's just English. Oh man, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Looking through it. Um, New equipment. Yep, there it is. New equipment. Corvus Assault Pod. So basically, once the pod hits the ground, all the weapon system on the outside go online and just start shooting everything to clear a landing area for people to come out of the drop pod and start assaulting things too.
Very nice.
Everybody, the thing starts shooting the moment it hits the ground. Bah, just clearing up space. Doors open. Everybody else also coming in doing the same thing.
If it works, right?
You do not get a chance to breathe. Get fucked.
Just as John
uh,
Browning intended.
yeah, that's the thing. They're not using bullets. Like what was it? Their whole spiel is that they have these bolter guns. So if you're in Astartes, you are not human. You are a genetically modified super soldier who uses a specialized weapon called a bolter. The bolter essentially it doesn't fire a bullet. It fires a timed rocket propelled explosive.
I can't believe the fucking gyrojet survived in the future.
Yeah, yeah. The gyrojet survives in the future and it's chambered for 80 cal.
If it works, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll just see an orc take a hit, then go, ha, that did nothing, and then a second later it just explode itself in half.
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, my arm's missing. I still got my other arm. Ah, and then just see them take a headshot, kneel, and then a second later, head just explodes off and they just hit the ground.
Ah,
And
all part of the fun.
it's like they have like the standard one fires slow, but then you have like storm bolters or hydra bolters, and those things just make the A10 look like the little engine that could, because these things fire even faster than what the A10 is able to do.
Damn.
It's like you just see, and a second later, it's like I didn't know you could make a gun fire that fast. It sounds like it's whistling.
Things I wish I had in real life for home
Yeah,
defense.
yeah. Oh no, it gets even better. They have a shotgun that's called a melta gun.
I'm well aware of the Melta-gun. I fucking
Yeah,
love the idea of a Melta-gun.
a shotgun that fires napalm and nothing but napalm with with deadly accuracy.
All I'm saying is it should be called the Geneva Suggestions.
Yeah. Oh man, it's Warhammer 40K is such a trip, and I love it because it's grimdark, which yeah, that can get depressing, but then you like take a step back and just realize everywhere at every point everyone is fighting, and okay, sure, it's there's not much hope because everybody's constantly fighting. On the bright side, if you're a fan of the orcs, you realize that the orcs got it made. They wake
Hmm.
up, they fight, and if they make it home, they get to go to bed, wake up, and fight the next day. And all they want is a fight.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, yeah. Win or lose, they just want to fight. And if they come back, like they technically can't die because they're fungus. They'll just they'll just die, regrow as spores, reform into who they were, and then fight you again and not even think twice about the fact that they're back. They just think, yeah, orcs are the best thing ever. Let's go fight. Is it oh man, it was oh, there was a funny story where it's they talk about the color system that the orcs use. We don't paint anything green because only orcs are green and orcs are the best, so only orcs are painted green. We paint things red because they go faster. Uh, if we paint things yellow, they're good. They're better at shooting. Um, if we also paint things blue because blue is a lucky color for us. And I think another one was we if we want to hide, we use purple because no one's ever seen a purple orc before.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like these stupid rules where it's like, yeah, apparently, what was it? They actually they will actually if they're in a fight, what was it? If they're in a fight, if there's any equipment that has red paint on it, doesn't matter if it's friendly or enemy, it starts moving faster. when it has no right to.
Okay.
So you have what are like these like there's these tanks that the Astartes use. Well, there happens to be a chapter whose whole getup is a red paint scheme.
The Blood
All
Ravens,
of a sudden they
correct?
realize, yeah, the Blood Ravens. All of a sudden their shit starts moving way faster than intended. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? Um,
I suppose it's the best
uh,
way to get new relics, right?
yeah. And then with the with yeah with the I think it was the Imperial Fists. Their whole getup is yellow. When they started fighting the orcs, their guns were way more accurate than they knew them to be. Like one dude totally had no way of hitting anything. He just fired in a random direction, and he hit an orc that just happened to pop his head up at the right time.
Nice.
It's like what the fuck? What? Because yellow shoots better.
Mm-hmm. I suppose better is relative though, because like if I was thinking shoot better, I would not be thinking accurate. I would be thinking, stopping power.
Oh no, for them it's like so like for them it's literally whatever they have in their hand, cool. That is now better if I paint it yellow. There's a group of them shooting at the enemy. If they decide we need more firepower, they will all yell more Daka. All of a sudden, their guns start firing at a higher rate, and the more people that scream more Daka, the more that they start firing at a higher rate.
Okay.
It stacks. Yeah, it's like their power is what they believe in. They are they are smart enough to realize that that's what's going on. They are also stupid enough to not be able to apply it to deadly extents.
So does that so then going on that, what is your opinion of Da Boys?
Oh, they're the fucking best.
Hell yeah.
It's like once I can get cash together and I make my first army, it's gonna be orcs. Heck, like I even painted the VTuber avatar that I use. The armor's painted green because orcs are the best.
Hell yeah.
I've been a fan of orcs for the longest time.
Understandable. Orcs are great, man. If I ever get the chance to earn the cash to get minis and all that, I'm either going orcs or I'm going blood ravens.
Yeah,
Maybe necrons, but I'm still trying to decide. But like that would be if I ever get the cash, which is unlikely, but I can dream.
right. Yeah, I'm definitely going orcs for minis. And what was it? I'm hoping. I don't know if I could find it. It'd be cool. But there's like orc mechs that I want to get my hands on. That would be the best. Get like all the all the shooter boys and whatnot, and the stompas, and then just get the mech stompas. You just see this like scrap punk looking diesel mech just running around smashing everything, and it just looks all janky and like it should not be working the way it does.
Wait, does that mean that Fallout characters are orcs?
The raiders, yeah, they're orcs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because you what was it? Fallout 4 actually had the first time where you had raiders that had their own power armor, and it's like, why did it look like he just grabbed random bits of rusty metal and just taped them to the? Oh nope, yep, he taped random bits of rusty metal to the exosuit. Okay, that is not Brotherhood of Steel power armor. That's not even anywhere Brotherhood of Steel adjacent.
Yeah, no.
That's
Especially
just
not with a roll
Raider.
cage.
That's just Raider armor.
Yeah.
Is that a deep sea dive helmet? What the? Where did you get that?
Probably the same place where the damn submarine came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Though, like, I hate to
Well,
do this, dude, but like, I gotta end it here.
yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
it's
say that pretty much wraps it up because I'm tapped. I don't know what else to talk about.
yeah, same. I am beat, and I plan to at least try to get some sleep tonight.
I hear you, man.
I'm probably hoping against hope, but damn.
Well, best of luck to you. I hope you do get that sleep. It'd be nice.
Yeah, here's hoping, and here's hoping you get some rest too, man. Have a good night,
Yeah, I'll try.
and thanks for listening, guys.